Hey, everybody, it's Ben. And?
Karen.
Yay. You didn't see like all the stuff I did. I put the white balance and I turned the light on. Now you can fix it.
Well, the lights are too much. So, what did you put the white balance?
4,700.
That's right.
Yeah. I could turn it down. It looks better on the monitor than on this little screen here on the laptop. Yeah.
Let me see what you're talking about.
I like the way that looks. That's pretty. Ooh, here comes Karen. Yeah, that's good. That looks good.
That seems fine. Lights might be a little bright. But otherwise, good.
If you have any questions that can be answered in 1 second by doing a Google search, that might be quicker than asking in the chat. I mean, it won't be quicker. It'll also be more accurate. If you say, like, what is a DMCA, then you're going to get 7 wrong answers in the chat and 5 right answers. Better just go to the internet. Matthew Escalin gifted 2 subs. Thanks, Matthew. Thanks to somebody who gave, Bonarici, I think it was, who subbed. Yeah. So I guess we're already on Chess TV, which I don't understand. We're supposed to be on at 9, but we already have 1,100 people. So if we're not on, that's good. Thanks, Curious Chimpanzee. All right, let me explain viewer game analysis to you, and then
Try the command.
and then I'm going to explain it again. Why don't you try it? I'm not even there.
All right.
All right.
I was just.
Like I want to. We have a new command that Karen just did. It's not working too good. Yeah.
Wait, why
Yeah, that's not connected
Oh,
to that.
that's not the.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a lot of computers here. We have more computers than atoms in the universe.
Let me see what I put. I just typed it real fast.
So there's the new command Karen put, analysis. Do a capital A and see if that works too. That was a small A.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay. What did I do? You want a big
You're
A?
still doing that one?
Oh, yeah. What do you want me to do?
Type the big A. Yeah, because the guy didn't. It didn't work. All right, it works. That's just because it didn't like him. Yeah. Okay, let me explain viewer game analysis. I explain it every stream, and then eventually I just stop doing it because you guys can't hear or something. Nobody has any right to have their game analyzed. I analyze the games I want. So if you put a game there, you might have it analyzed, but I doubt it. And if you really want it to get analyzed and you want to be 100% sure, the more you donate, the more I analyze it.
Also, but if you are here regularly on the stream, you have a better chance.
Slightly better.
If you're a mod,
Yeah, and I don't care
jump to the front.
if I put my game on first. I don't care what you do. The only thing I care about is how much you donated. Yeah. And so forth. Or if you have good tombstone quotes, then, you get top of the line. Yeah. You remember in the movie Rounders when Matt Damon told the judge, if I can read your hand blind, do I get this thing? Like some, judgeship or something. And the guy says, I can't promise that, but I'll tell you what, I'll put you at the top of the list. Now, the other thing is, a couple of you didn't put the names, didn't put who was playing. And one of you wrote a sonnet about your game. Yeah, don't do that. Don't write like, I was 12 years old and I stubbed my toe and then I went to the board and there was a beautiful girl sitting next to me, but she was 18 and I was 12, and then we decided to make a movie and call it Licorice Pizza. I don't want to hear any of that. Okay, just put your game on. So 2 of you didn't put the names in the PGN because they weren't PGNs, like this one. And then for this one, the guy wrote a novella about like, my name is this and that and that. And the other one, which is this one, bam. I guess it wasn't that one. What did I do wrong? Anyway, you're all banned is the idea. All right. Yeah, I don't want any superfluous nonsense. I want like normal nonsense. Okay, I already have a million games in the queue. And it doesn't matter if you asked first or last or donated or didn't donate. If I don't look at your game, then I don't look at your game. Right? And you're banned. Now let's put another game up here that was just put. Every game that was submitted before the stream started, I have up here. Although I'm confused about where the first game is. Just a second here. You tell them to donate. Wait, where'd that game go? Did I imagine that game? I hope so. What? There was a game there, and then it wasn't there.
Exclam analysis. That tells you how to submit a game.
What?
Exclam analysis.
I don't understand. Like, the game disappeared.
That tells you what to do.
Streamer mode is enabled. That's good. I was told by 2 different people why that's good, and I never have Discord on my computer, ever. This is like the first time. I've probably done it before. Especially Tobias. Tobias was like, if you don't put this in streamer mode, all is lost. And I don't know what that means. But streamer mode is enabled.
I wasn't listening. But
Supposedly, if it's not in streamer mode, people can do stuff. Stuff I don't care about. Yeah. No, none of the PGNs were accurate. It was always like, by the way, here's something funny. If you edit your PGN, which a lot of you did, I have to make sure not to copy and paste that, although I did, because the word edited destroys the PGN, but then I can erase it. So I had some work to do.
How many people are getting banned today? 0.
What?
What do you mean?
It's 2 a.m. in the UK. Should I sleep or watch you guys? Kobe. Now, this isn't a joke. It sounds like one. And I told this on this stream before. One of the semifinal games, I believe it was the Alabama game with Cincinnati, but don't quote me. One of the players is named Kobe Bryant, and they were named after Kobe. Kobe Bryant. And I was like, whenever they were like, and Kobe Bryant is on the D, and I'm like, what? I think he's a defensive player. Like, he was covered by Kobe Bryant. I'm like, damn. So, true story. Also, thanks, Bozorg. If I don't misunderstand what I read, which I do, Isaiah Thomas was named after Isaiah Thomas. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. By the way, tell me if I'm totally off base here, because I think I am. Whenever I watch Trae Young, I think of Isaiah Thomas, the good one from 30 years ago. Although I think Trae Young shoots a lot more threes and from a lot further away. But what I mean is, when Trae Young is driving the lane, it reminds me of Isaiah Thomas. You're a certified donor. All right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm saying whenever he drives the lane, I'm like, that's Isaiah. He's not as good as Isaiah, but he's a better three-point shooter because that's the way the game is played now. But I mean, otherwise, he's pretty good. Yeah, Trae Young. Now, I don't want to cause you any grief, but imagine if Trae Young got better, because he's 23, 24 years old. Like Giannis got a lot better. What if he gets better? Ridiculous. So it was funny. Yesterday, as you know, Trae Young got 56 points and 14 assists. Okay?
Yeah.
That's never happened. Nobody's ever had 55 points plus and 14 assists. It's never happened in the NBA ever. You know what an assist is? It's when I throw you the ball and then you shoot and make it. I assisted.
Okay.
So usually when you score a lot of points, you don't have a lot of assists because you're shooting. But somehow he had a lot of 14's a crazy amount. That's insane. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some players go through their whole careers and never have 14 assists. They play for 10 years. They don't know what an assist is. Yeah. Also, but 56 points is a lot. Now here's the problem. Ready for the problem? They lost.
Oh. I'm broken up about it.
Yeah. High Chess TV. Yeah, Jokic is pretty good. Whenever Jokic is playing against Doncic, I don't know who's who or who's better. And we had a discussion last season. Who's better, Jokic or Doncic? And they played like 3 days ago, and Doncic's team won against Jokic. Yeah, it's unclear who's better. Thanks. I think Jokic is better, which doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, some dumb trucker. Did you follow the instructions about how to hook your Twitch up to Discord?
Kangaroo, that's the most wrong thing you've ever said in your life. He said Mutombo's better than Jokic. Mutombo was a defensive player. What? Mutombo scored like 5 points a game, but he was good on defense. God damn. Yeah, nobody who ever lived thinks Mutombo's better than Jokic, even Mutombo.
Yeah, you got to hook it up on Discord.
Now, for several $1 trillion, what's Mutombo's first name?
I don't know.
Dikembe. Yeah, you weren't going to guess that out of the, yeah.
No.
What you guys don't understand is, I mean, some of you do, is the Greek freak, Antetokounmpo, he has like 3 brothers in the NBA. I mean, he has 2. I mean, and they're all, how can you be NBA good and be, what? That's like the Manning family. All right. So we'll start with Kangaroo, even though he said the crazy nonsense. Yay, $50. I mean, we're going to start with NJ Crispy. That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yay. Thank you, NJ Crispy.
Yeah.
Moving right.
All right, now you ready for some more trillions of dollars? Okay, there's a famous NBA player named Manute Bol. He was 7'7", and he doesn't. That was 20 years ago.
Heard of him.
Okay, his son currently plays in the NBA. His last name is also Bol, right? What's his first name? You get several $1 trillion if you get it.
Bowl is the last name.
Yeah.
And Manute is the other kid.
No, he's the dad. Manute Bol's the dad, and the son is something Bol.
Okay. I don't know.
Bol. Yeah. It's already been answered in the Bol.
I was trying to think of some marijuana joke.
If your name was Bol, would you change it? Like, I mean, come on, it's embarrassing.
Smoker, that's it.
Yeah.
Bishop Takes is smarter than me.
Now, the tallest player in the NBA currently, unless I'm wrong, is Taco Fall. Tacko Fall. What's that a name? That's like 2 random things, you know.
Yeah, that's strange.
Yeah. George Foreman did name all of his kids George. I think he named his daughter George, too. I'm not kidding about that.
I know about it.
More 83.
Bizarre is what it is.
By the way, the thing I got you for Christmas, what's it called?
Air fryer?
Air fryer oven. Yeah. Said the air fryer is the 90s, is today's version of the George Foreman
grill.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. He might have named her Georgina. Yeah.
I used to have a Foreman grill.
My grandpa delivered one of those Georges. God
I had
damn.
multiple versions of that Foreman grill. It was nice. That way it was slanted down so all the grease ran off.
Yeah.
The problem was the griddle, like any of those coated, I forgot the name of what it is, but it comes off. It's not very healthy.
Yeah. No, but on Family Guy or Futurama, I'm going to say Futurama.
Yeah.
On Futurama, George Foreman was talking about his grill, and he said the best thing about it is the grease runs right into my mouth, and they show it just like, yeah. George Foreman's greatest line on Futurama, even you'll like it. Bender was fighting this ridiculous robot that weighed many tons, right? And the announcer said, the odds in Vegas are 1,000 to 0. If you bet $0 on Bender, they give you $1,000 if he wins. And George Foreman goes, yeah, still not a good bet. Not good. Yeah, that was a good one. All right, we got more people that didn't donate $50. Destructor. Yeah. Okay, so Karen was interested in planning, right? She was like, now, Ben, when you die of COVID or something else, what am I going to do? She went on to plan. And then it turned out she was actually talking about chess.
Thank you, Ollie. Thank you for resubbing.
All right. So Crispy's white this game.
Well, what I said was I asked Ben if he could, while he's analyzing all your games, point out different plans that people should come up with, because I'm not very good at formulating a plan in my game.
Hey, Crispy, are you the one who gave us the envelope in Foxwoods? Is that him?
So,
Somebody gave us an envelope.
was it? I remember the guy, but I didn't have it connected to him.
Well, he said Foxwoods, and the more you donate, sounded like
Maybe
him.
it was.
I'll be at Foxwoods this April. Yeah, we plan on going. Yeah, if you don't have any stalkers, you're not trying. Yeah. Okay, so this guy pretty good at chess because his name is Vasil. So that's Ivanchuk's first name. Yeah. I proposed to my fiance at Foxwoods during a comedy show with the comedian being part of the proposal. Damn, truth hurts.
Wow.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. Just like Adele just did. Did you see that?
What'd she do?
She had some guy, I don't even know how he got involved with her. He brought his now fiance, girlfriend to the concert. And,
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, and then she didn't know she was at the concert 'cause she was blindfolded. And then took it off, and Adele's there, and he proposed to her.
Did she say, who's Adele? Yeah, Foxwoods will have a meetup for sure. Yeah. Unless they cancel Foxwoods. I'll be in Ipsy every day.
Possible.
Okay. Now let's look at the game. It's Crispy's white. It's a Sicilian. It's an open Sicilian. And now the most common moves are the knight orphan, the dragon. I would play knight c6. Also e6 and e5 are played on occasion. But he played a6. Big money, no $25.
Thank you, Ninja.
The more you donate. Okay, so this is the knight orph invented by
Night Orph.
right.
Miguel?
Miguel. Okay, where was he born?
Did it. Uh-oh. I don't know. Germany?
I'll give you a hint. Okay, you want a hint? It's where Hikaru is.
Right now?
Yep.
Poland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Poland. And then, because of things that were not so good at the time, if you know what I mean, he moved to South America.
Okay. I remember that story now.
Also, he did business in Michigan occasionally, but I never saw him there because I wasn't born yet. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Nightorf tried to get his whole family to come. And if you read about him on Wikipedia, it's very sad. Yeah. We were watching CNN yesterday, and by we, I mean I was. And Karen was, I don't know, I was buying shoes or something. But anyway, and then I'm watching CNN, I'm like falling asleep, and Kasparov comes on. And they're like, Kasparov, what do you think about the Ukraine? And he said the Ukraine is weak and so forth. Okay. Now in this position, every legal move has been played.
You talking about today? That was
Yesterday.
Oh, because I was there when he was talking about Putin.
Right, you were there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what White did. He played bishop e3. Now, if you're a super grandmaster, I'm not saying you are, this is a good way to have a quick draw. And in fact, I wanted to make fun of like Hikaru, who has a lot of quick draws. This is the famous game. I think it was David Howell, but don't quote me. David Howell versus Hikaru in the Millionaire Open, although it might not have been Howell. And they did the repeating line, knight here, bishop here, knight here, bishop here. And Ashley was furious. And Hikaru's like, well, I'm black. And Howell's like, I'm Howell. Although it might not have been Howell, but you get the idea. The don't quote me on that was a Nirvana reference, by the way. What song?
Which part? What's the line again?
Don't quote me on that.
Oh.
And I'll explain it. Thanks, I am Rix.
I don't know. Hey, Luis. how's
Thanks
it
again,
going?
Rix.
In Mexico. Hola.
It's from I'm on a Plane, and it's an inside joke. The band would always say, don't quote me on that when they would say something weird. So you would just say, don't quote me on that. Okay. So e6, e5, and knight g4 are the three common moves. I think Matt Larson's played both. All right. e6, f3, never play f3. This is called the English attack. And the reason it's called that is in every opening where white is an English grandmaster and a Sicilian, they do that. And so whenever there's a Najdorf, they like to call it a variation of the Najdorf. So they call this the English attack. Okay, now, the difference between this English attack and the English patient is this isn't boring. Okay, so whenever white plays f3 in any Sicilian, you want to castle queenside, and you want to play for g4 and stop knight g4. If you're going to castle kingside, you don't want to play f3. You want to play f4, or not move your f-pawn. The point of this is, the reason he played bishop e3 is you can castle quicker, and you can play g4 quicker, and you prevent knight g4 in case of queen d2. If you live in India and you want to buy stuff online, then it's quicker. I can't roll my R's, but good joke. Okay, it's just a Seinfeld. I never saw the English patient, although I might have. And that's just because Elaine hated it and said it was boring. Then she was fired. Did you see the English patient? You're a woman. And?
I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. Karen doesn't like chick flick women's movies usually.
Yeah.
Not usually. It's not her thing.
Not usually.
What's the movie all women like? I didn't see it. Every woman who's ever seen it likes it. It's where I didn't see the movie, but you're getting letters from the future and they're like love story.
I wouldn't go.
What's that called?
That.
The Notebook?
No.
No?
Maybe.
Notebook.
Yeah, I wouldn't see that.
If you saw it, you'd be furious.
It's just not my kind of movie.
Yeah, it's a chick flick.
But I think it wasn't Doris Lessing, the author.
They don't know what an author means.
Pretty well respected.
All right, now, did you see the movie where the guy's stripping the whole movie? It's about male strippers.
It doesn't sound like something I'd see.
Yeah, and then the guy in it who's famous. He's the famous guy. You didn't see that? That's also for women.
What's it called?
Magic Mike, not Michael. Magic Mike. You didn't see that?
No.
Who's the guy in Magic Mike? He's a famous actor.
Oh, Golden Notebook. Yeah, Golden Notebook. I got the two things mixed up.
Yeah, there it is. Channing Tatum.
Thank you, Farsley. Yeah, those are two different stories.
Channing Tatum is in Magic Mike.
Yeah, that's just not the kind of movie I would see.
Yay, $15.
Yeah, those are two different stories. My bad. Doris Lessing was a well-respected. That explains why they're different. Doris Lessing was very well respected.
The movie all women liked was Amelie.
I did like Amelie.
You're a woman.
You
yeah.
liked Amelie.
I did. See it? That was the cartoon?
No.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact plot, but
I'm gonna get a Perrier because the guy told me to.
Wasn't Juliette Binoche the one that was in that?
I thought that was like Water for Chocolate.
No, it wasn't Juliette Binoche. I can't remember now. It's been.
There's a movie with Juliette Binoche.
Oh, Audrey Tautou. Sorry, yeah.
What's Juliette Binoche and?
Yeah, Amelie's.
Oh no, it's Chocolat. It's just Chocolat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Audrey Tautou. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it's really good.
Who looks better when they're stripping? Channing Tatum or Matthew McConaughey?
I mean, I can barely think what Channing Tatum even looks like.
Terrible.
So,
Rachel Weisz is great.
Brad Pitt. Matthew McConaughey seems like he's in decent shape.
Have you seen the famous skit on SNL where there's a dance-off between two strippers to see who joins Chippendales or whatever? Mm-hmm. And one of them, who's the guy who says Roadhouse? Who's that? Who's the guy who's in Roadhouse? R.I.P. He was in Donnie Darko, too. He's the guy who Patrick Swayze.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Swayze, and he was in a stripper's outfit, and he looked really buff. Mm-hmm. And his opponent was Chris Farley.
Oh.
Right, that's a great scene. And here's the best part of the scene, which none of you understand or will ever understand, is that when they take turns, okay, and then it's Chris Farley's turn, Patrick Swayze's looking at Chris Farley really worried. He's like, damn, I can't beat that guy. The look of worry on Patrick Swayze's face is very funny. That's good acting. He's like, I can't compete with Chris Farley. Terrible. Okay, so
yeah, we did get a little sidetracked. Sorry about that.
Queen D2, correct. Now, in some Sicilians, but not this one, sometimes people play bishop c4, queen e2, and they avoid f3 because their queen on e2 stops knight g4. I can't stress this enough, although I could. If black plays knight g4 in a Sicilian and it's a good move, white did something wrong. So you can't play queen d2 and they play knight g4. So you either play f3, bishop e2, h3, or bishop c4 and queen e2 so that you control the g4 square. Not just to stop this, but also you might want to play g4, g5 later. And so the variation I play when we have the Sozin, then my opponents are always playing bishop here, queen here, castles, g4, Papa John's, which you've seen on the stream a lot.
So does white castle queen side here?
Hey, I like that. You're a gold digger because you married Ben Feingold. That's good. He died after having to carry David Spade through 4 movies.
That's kind of funny.
Who's less funny, David Spade or somebody else? Probably like Jerry Van Dyke, but that doesn't count.
I haven't seen him in a whole lot.
David Spade was the answer from Fraud With. Yeah. There's a thing on the internet. It's an interview. The interviewer's like somebody famous. I don't know who. And he's interviewing, might be like Conan. I don't know. And he's interviewing David Spade and who's the guy who died a few months ago? Who's the guy who died a few months ago? You know, the famous comedian. Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Okay. And Norm Macdonald is making one joke after another, and it's the funniest thing ever. And David Spade's sitting there like a schlub. I mean, like anybody could have been sitting next to Norm Macdonald. It would have been the same. No, nothing funny. Nothing. Didn't say anything. Norm Macdonald just was the funniest person ever, and David Spade's like, I'm not as funny as you. So I don't know. Yeah. And so forth. Betty White? Go Betty White. Yeah. R.I.P. Okay. Queen d2, knight c6. Now, in a lot of knight orfs, they don't play knight c6 because they want to play b5. And then knight c6, you can't play b5 because knight's on c6. So they often will play b5 and put the knight here. And one advantage of the knight being here is it has these 3 excellent squares. And when you go to these squares, you can play knight c4 sometimes attacking that. So imagine like b5, knight here, knight here, knight here. Yeah. So this transposes into a Schwanigan instead of a knight orf because the knight is here. So actually, I could have black in this position by transposition. I could. Okay, because I play knight c6 instead of a6. Castles. Thanks, Fen Beingold. Norm was the funniest man on the planet. I don't know about that. He was, top 100. Okay. Bishop. All right, so black is playing in a shallow and pedantic manner. One of the good things about the open Sicilian is that if you know what you're doing and the other guy doesn't know what they're doing, you win immediately. It's not like you win a pawn up endgame. So, yeah, I didn't have the analysis. I was going to say white's much better now. See? I didn't turn on the analysis, but I play chess. Yeah, you see how white's like black played normal, looks okay. And then the engine says like white's winning. Because that's not how you play. You got to get counterplay immediately because you're so passive here. But if you could play b5, b4, and one of the other advantages of playing f3 early is if they play bishop b7, they can't harass you on d5. But this is too passive. There's no counterplay for black. So this is why white's playing this way. Now Matt Larson asked g4, correct? Yeah. Now imagine, okay, just like John Lennon, imagine I play here.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things you often do in this opening is when they play here, you have d7 for your knight.
All right.
Then your knight has all these good squares. Sometimes you even play knight e5, knight a5, and go here. So bishop d7 is a random legal move, and it doesn't meet the needs of the position. So if I was black here, I would hope I could play knight takes and bishop c6, so my knight could go here, but I can't. because when something takes here, probably the bishop, then this pawn isn't defended. So after like knight takes, bishop here, g5, you have to play knight h5. Oh, God. So already the engine's like, I hate black. Because black is just, see, now, I've discussed this on many streams. There's two things you can do in the opening. You can do like me and just play random nonsense. Okay, that's less study. And then your opponent's like, what is this random nonsense? Then you play your opponent and the better player wins. Or you can know all theory, like all the top players in the world. So then when they play me, they beat the hell out of me if I try to play theory. If I don't play theory, they have a big advantage immediately. So when I play the top players in the world, that's not good. Okay, but you're not playing the top players in the world. So for you guys, if you play some really well-known opening, like the Najdorf, and you're like, okay, I know 5 moves of theory. That means I move 10, you're lost. So you're playing something your opponent knows really well and you don't. So if you're going to play sharp openings, complicated openings, you have to know more than they do. And it's amazing when you watch the World Championship and they know everything. What's also amazing, and you'll never understand it, but I'm glad that the guy's name is Vasil. Vasily Ivanchuk knows every opening all the way to the end with either color. Ivanchuk's insane. He could play any opening with either color and know everything. And the reason people are 2,800 and top 10 in the world is all they do is study chess. They do nothing else. And that's the reason Hikaru's really, 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 really good at blitz and really, 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 really good at bullet and, pretty good at rapid, top 5 in the world, maybe better. But at slow chess, Hikaru doesn't spend 20 hours a day studying chess. So his openings are suspicious, which doesn't matter at all in rapid, blitz, and bullet. Slow chess, if he's not getting an advantage with white, he's not going to be 2,800 because he's playing other people who are 2,800. But that doesn't matter when you play like online or blitz. That's ridiculous. So if you're going to play sharp Sicilian, and by the way, when I say Hikaru doesn't know an opening, that means he knows it 1,000,000 times better than you. That's what it means. But if he knew the opening, it would be 1,000,000,000 times. I read this on the internet today, or maybe yesterday. I already knew it, but most people don't understand the difference between 1,000,000 and 1,000,000,000, right? They think if their friend has $10 million, he's the richest guy in the world. And then Bill Gates and Elon Musk and other people are on the floor laughing, right? Okay, the difference is 1,000,000 seconds, okay, is a few days. It's like 11 days. And 1,000,000,000 seconds is like 32 years. So 1,000,000,000 is a lot more than 1,000,000. You know what I mean? No, you don't know what I mean.
All right, so let's get back to the chess here. So I have a question.
Yeah.
So is there any way that black is going to castle king side?
Yes.
They are.
Yeah.
See, because when I very first started playing chess, I played the Sicilian because I didn't know better. And I didn't study it. I just saw other people. And I ended up playing the Najdorf and I'm not sure how to say it, Schwenningen, and even the Dragon. But it seems like I always got pawn stormed.
Right.
And I never knew how to handle it correctly.
Right. You have to learn tons of theory. Yeah. Like, I play this Sicilian and I play where they castle opposite sides, and I know a lot of theory.
Yeah.
So if my opponent knows more than me, then I just get destroyed. Like when I play Christopher Yu. There's a lot of games in 1 minute and 3 minute that I've played online against GMs and IMs who know the Sicilian better than I do in those variations, and I just lose immediately. Terrible.
Well, I thought that when there's going to be opposite side castling, that in general, black should also be pawn storming.
Correct.
But they're not.
That's why you don't play knight here early, because you can't play b5. By the way, b5 is one of the engine moves here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Problem is, which is the problem with most people. Obviously, this isn't a slow game, and these guys aren't GMs, but problem is, when you're attacking and they're attacking, like g4, g5 is an obvious way of attacking, and you have to figure out what to do about it. And black is just developing his pieces, la, 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 la. And then when white does it, he's like, terrible.
Right.
But that's what's going to happen when they play f3, especially if you're playing Matt Larson. if you're going to play the Night Orf and you're going to opposite side castle and you're going to be out of theory on move 6, you're going to lose a lot. So if you want to be out of theory on move 6, I'm not saying you do, but if you do, you should play openings your opponent doesn't know. And you can't beat NJ Crispy. He's too good, right? Because he gave me $50. Okay. So B5.
Hey, they did.
Yeah, okay. H4. H4 seems unnecessary, especially since you might use the H4 square for like your queen or something. But probably, I mean, H4 is okay. Yeah, the engine wants to play G5 and then put the bishop here. All right, but H4 is fine. Nothing wrong with that. B4. Knight E2, good. Queen C7, good. Knight takes is good. Bishop takes is good. And you took a pawn. Now, taking this pawn is a bad move. And for further details, there's a very famous game where queen takes B4 was played, similar position, and white got crushed. Now, I hope you're sitting down, because when I tell you who was white, you won't believe me. It's the last super GM you think would be white here. Kramnik. Kramnik rarely plays E4. He never opposite side castles. He never plays like this. And he was playing Topalov, and he took this pawn, and Topalov destroyed him. Taking that pawn actually helps black, because you're opening the B file, and you're doing this. This pawn actually prevents black from attacking. So what you want to do is play knight D4, making your knight good, hopefully winning this bishop, or G5 and continue. This detour you took, when you opposite side castle, taking this pawn doesn't necessarily help you. And the engine says you're close to winning here, and now you're not even better. Okay? And now black has the prototypical Sicilian move, which equalizes, which he did not play. Yeah, look up Kramnik versus Topalov in a Sicilian. It's probably the only time Kramnik was white in a Sicilian against Topalov. What do you want to play in this Sicilian, irrespective of the position? This is the move you're trying to play, and you never can play it.
I don't know. I never knew it very well.
D5. That attacks the queen, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
And then this pawn's attacked 700 times.
Oh, you're attacking. I would have done that because attacking.
Right. Okay. And after this move, the engine says it's equal, but his opponent played rook b8. Now, here's something nobody understands but me. And after I tell you, you still want to understand it. I'm going to ask you.
All right.
In your opinion, is this queen good here or bad here?
It's bad there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that's a scary square to be
Correct,
on.
correct.
Pawn move
So
in,
rook b8 forces the queen to a good square. Do you see the engine playing rook b8? The answer is she can't see any of the moves. But no, rook b8's not a move. That queen sitting there is great. So this is the first move. This is the second move. And this is the third move of the engine. The engine's second move is absurd. But it threatens bishop takes e4. So I don't know. Okay, d5 is the right move. All right, now you're back in business. Yeah. Queen d2, always retreat. Probably queen c3 is better. Yeah, queen c3 pins the bishop. And then like you're going that way. You're defending your b pawn. Queen c3 can't be attacked. That's probably better. Queen d2, now this is a little weak. Queen b7 is correct. Now we're threatening checkmate. Bishop d4, that's legal. Okay, e5 is a move you don't want to play because it weakens d5 and f5, in particular f5, because when I go here, my knight can come in here. And if you do play e5, you have to play d5. You can't just play this and when your pawn was here and be like, yay, because you're giving away all these squares and you're getting nothing. Yeah, so now this is weak, this square is weak, and my knight has the f5 square, which I didn't before, and you can't play d5 because your center is all hanging. Knight d7, that's legal. Knight g3, good. g6, h5. Very good play from white. Surprising. By the way, the engine is playing the crazy d5 every move. It says that black's losing, but it's still the best. That's how big, it's not great, but you got to do something. I want to see what I do after takes as it's not taking. Bishop a3. See, he unleashed the latent potential of the bishop. Now the engine wants to play rook here and run away. That's why, see, in these positions, the engine's always saying play king b1, because if the guy ever plays bishop here, ever, then we play b3. Yeah. But after bishop a3, we can't play b3 because it's illegal. Also, after king here, we can put the knight on b3 or d3 if we want to defend this. And we could play b3 with safety and so forth. Okay, but he didn't play d5. h6. Okay, if I showed this game to a super grandmaster, and then I said black played here, he would just leave. He would go to the doctor because he doesn't feel good. Right. That's the most nonsensical move of all time. If I was black, I would play pawn here now. Terrible. Also, black isn't castling. Black's moving the pawns on the king side, helping white. Boo. Also, as Paula Abdul would say, that move straight up loses a pawn. Now, the reason he played it is obvious. He wants to play bishop here, winning the queen. Yeah. Okay, unfortunately, taking this wins because the queen sacrifice wins, but you probably were afraid of that. Oh, you weren't afraid of that. Good. Yeah, this is actually a blunder now, and the game's over. Now, here's what's funny about that. After this is the funniest thing Karen's ever heard. The engine doesn't take the queen because it knows how losing that is. So it just plays like random legal move.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right. Well, because taking the queen gets the goddamn bejesus beaten out of you. Okay. And for these kinds of queen sacrifices, you can see the game Tall won, my favorite Tall game, in a simul, where he sacked all his pieces and queen, and it was great. Anyway, NJ Crispy's like, I sacked my queen. The fact that he gets 37 pieces and has forced mate and takes everything, that doesn't matter. He sacked his queen. Now, as far as I can tell, White's probably mating black here, so it's not good. Okay, that's the safest queen sacrifice ever because you get more material for your queen, you're queening a pawn, and you're mating your opponent. You can see after takes check, if the king goes up, we have knight f5 check and rook takes d6 check. God damn. Okay, so this is the good thing NJ Crispy did. Now, first of all, it's possible, we'll have to get a lie detector. We have to. That when Crispy took this, he didn't see bishop g5. Obviously, in the chase, of course I saw bishop g5. Okay, even if he didn't, he would say he did. Right? But I think he did see it, and he saw that the sacrifice was winning. Not even a queen sacrifice. Right, that's why if you played king b1 earlier, but he egged his opponent on. I don't egg my opponent on because I'm a vegan. Now, if you have black, and you play here, white's forced to do this, and you're forcing your opponent to beat you. Not good. Now, if he takes this, rook takes h6, white's just completely winning. So in this game, black made several mistakes that were just one-move threats. Queen b7 threatening mate wasn't a mistake. e5 threatening the bishop was, and h6 threatening this was. Black doesn't have a plan, which is what Karen wanted to do. What's my plan? Black just played for one-move threats, and he didn't realize he was playing NJ Crispy. Yay, 3001, a space advantage. Okay. Now, if he plays knight f8, right, which is a better move, then g7's annoying. God damn. Not only am I threatening everything, you can't even stop me from just queening by pushing my pawn. And this says white's plus 26. But he played king here, knight f5, and rook mate, as I explained earlier. Yeah. It's a good thing black got mated because his position really sucked. Right? White could have played other moves, and black would be in agony, like g7. After g7, queen takes b2 is the best move because it stops mate temporarily. Also, rook h6 is forced mate. But obviously, mate in one is good. So black never got an attack As soon as you played bishop d4, bishop c3, that was it. And then black never castled. Black just kept making pawn moves, weakening his king and his position. And you have the two bishops. And he got fixated on one move threats. Ooh, I'll play this, I'll play this. Then when you stopped, he's like, damn. So a good game from you.
Yeah. What's your rating, NJ Crispy?
Looking at that game, he's about 1920.
I loved all that.
I have spoken.
I couldn't see the mate. I could see that there was a good attack. I couldn't quite see the mate. Then I saw the knight check, but I couldn't see the rook on d6 was mate.
Yeah, his opponent was like 1650. I'm just guessing those ratings. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm 2300. What are you talking about? I figure he's not 2300 because, nobody is on my stream. He's 1800 rapid. I was close.
Yeah, I like that. That was pretty cool.
That was funny. Smart of you to switch the names so you get constructive criticism from Ben. That is funny. Yeah. Very good. All right. So we're done with that game. Now we go to Kangaroo if I can find it, which I can't. Kangaroo said this was the best game he ever played. The thing is, Kangaroo lost in 12 moves on time, but it was still the best game he ever played. True story. Yeah. NJ Crispy, you probably played in the mid-90s that game, like 94, 95, and your opponent did not.
Yes, I'm well Kingpin.
A freaking sheet subscribed.
Thank you for asking.
If he was quoting a song, what should his handle be?
I don't know the song.
A freak in the bed.
Oh, yeah.
$50 from Farty Party. God damn. I threw that away because it wasn't hundreds. See? And that thing, yeah. Right. I think A Freak in the Sheets is another song, too. I talked to Doc Holliday's girlfriend from Toothstone, and she said Kangaroo can go 10 moves and then some. Jack McCokoff? What? Subscribe. Whatever your name is, thanks.
Thank you, M2 Oha.
Yeah.
Compliment. Yay.
At this rate, we'll get 2 games in.
Hey, Boner Beach.
Lady in the sheets, but a freak in the bed. That's right.
Stay on task.
Okay, Kangaroo's black. Caro-Kann. Bishop e2 is a bit passive. Now, if the bishop ever moves out, we're in a reverse QGD. It's the QGD, but black is white and white is black. Normally, after knight f3, they'll play bishop b5 and try to take advantage. A lot of people will play c3, c3, bishop d3, bishop f4 instead of knight f3. And I like to play the Panov-Botvinnik attack with c4. Okay, so if it was black's move here, in this position,
Yeah.
I said if, then this would be a QGD. This is white playing a Queen's Gambit declined. I've had white in this position a million times. Although I don't play CDED, that's the exchange. But it's white's move, so white has equalized because it's not black's move. Okay, c3, g6, very unusual move. Normally, when I play g6 in here, I don't play bishop g4. I'm not trying to trade off my bishop. But you can play for e6, knight e7, and trade your bishop off, so your bishop's not blocked by this pawn. Notice, Kangaroo played bishop g4 before he's going to put his pawns on white squares, so his bishop isn't trapped in here. But I wouldn't play g6. I would play e6. But g6 is all right. Yeah. This is like a London or a Catalan. When I say Catalan, it's in reverse. So black's playing the Catalan. But this looks like a London just by transposition. White's playing the London. Like you probably have white in this position just by transposition. Yeah. So slightly better for white because black's probably going to take this and give up the 2 bishops. If he doesn't, then why did he go here? And the plans, as you like plans, is since it's hard for black to move these pawns, normally black gets the minority attack. See, can I make that joke?
I like to hear about plans. I don't know how to make a plan.
Guess I should make that joke.
Probably
okay,
not.
And then it's not easy to do because the bishop is controlling b8. Hard to play rook b8. Another plan black has is to play f6, e5. So like knight h5, rawr, and see if that works. And I went to the nutrition store and I asked him about this, and he said, lucky for you, that plan don't work. Simpsons. Okay, so white's slightly better. Okay, now if you were Indian, that move would be nonsensical. Non.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's yeah. Yeah, that just shows non-understanding of the position. So white should either castle or play h3. And those are the only moves I would consider. Knight here, what's happening? All right. So that's giving away the e4 square and putting the knight on a bad square. That's no good. All right, so white's still equal, but this move, I mean, why does anybody castle? Everybody sends their games in, and none of their opponents castle. Ridiculous. Castles, h3, that's good. Good. Rook e8, he wants to play e5. This is still a time you could play knight e4. Rook e8's good. Okay. If I show this position to any grandmaster in the world, they castle in less than 1 second. I mean, the guy just did that. One of the things I taught many years ago to many students and online is one of the mistakes amateurs make is they have a plan that they try to execute before they're ready. Black's castled. Obviously, when Kangaroo played here, he was trying to play e5, obviously, and castle. Then if white wants to play here, then he can play there. But you can't have your rook here and the king here. So it was sort of like the last game. Black just left his king in the center too long and got crushed, and now white's leaving his king in the center too long. Now, here's a mistake a lot of people make. You have to recognize in the position what you want to do. You want to play e5. You know you want to play e5. That's why you played here. And after knight c5, you might go, oh no, my b pawn. Okay, like Eric Rosen. Actually, your b pawn's not even attacked, because after queen b6, you get your pawn back. But if you waste time defending your pawn with queen here or b6, then the knight can go to d3, and you're not going to be able to play e5, although I still would. And also you could play knight h5 in here, but the bishop is stopping it. Unfortunate. So this move is frankly ridiculous. Terrible. And if you didn't play e5, I'm not looking at the game anymore. Oh! Boo, boo. You're bad and you should feel bad. Yeah, e5 is totally equal. Here's the engine line. Takes, obviously castles now. Takes. Yeah, you got rid of his 2 bishops, what else? And now the equalizing move, d4. Yeah, now you're looking good. Now, you're doing stuff. Yeah, this is fine for black. Hooray. This pawn's weak, this pawn's weak. You got rid of his 2 bishops, you got rid of your isolated pawn, etc. And you don't even have to play d4 here. You could play queen b6. I'd probably rather have black here because I like this bishop. I like this weak pawn. I like the d5 pawn gives me knight e4, or maybe even rook e4 and double up on the bubble up. And all of black's pieces are great. Yeah, the engine actually likes queen b6 more than d4. Okay, now the problem with b6 isn't that b6 is bad. Problem with b6 is, I just ate. Okay, that's ridiculous. Problem with b6 is after knight d3, he's controlling e5. You're not losing, but I mean, knight a6 is the ridiculous. All right, I can't find a worse square on the board. Maybe here. Now, if you want to see the worst pieces ever, do you want to see them? They're playing this TCEC thing, which like 5 people like, where the engines or the whatever they're called, IAI, play each other. And they're playing 960 now. And one of them, white had a knight on g7, and black's pieces were all trapped here. That was Leela versus, your mama, I don't know. Thanks, Double Hard 99. That's what she said.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is, I mean, terrible. Now, the only reason to make moves like that, instead of like in the center, defending the center squares, is because the way people think, Karen's like, what's a good plan? And nobody thinks that. They're like, if I go here, I win the exchange, which probably isn't true after that.
No, I don't, but I don't think of a good plan because I don't know
Right.
good plan.
A good plan is my opponent wants to go here, my knight's attack here. Done. That's a great square for your knight. This is the worst square for your knight. Blah. The only reason to do it is they want to go here. Then when you stop that, they're like, oh, well, why would you want your knight there? Now, also, Kangaroo, you don't want to play b6 because you don't have any white squared bishop over here. In fact, you don't even have a white squared bishop. So that accentuates the strength of his bishop. So you want to keep that pawn here. Okay, knight a6 is terrible. Now you played e5. Good. 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 Not necessary, but good. Rook c8, good. Yeah, now this is about equal. The engine slightly prefers white because we can attack this pawn and play knight here, but I wouldn't worry. Rook a d1, knight e4, aggressive. Knight b4, okay, good. d4 is correct. Yep, d4. I mean, that move is just silly. So since the d pawn moved and this knight's not defended, this is a good time to go here because your rook on f1 is shallow and pedantic. Here it's pretty good because the queen is defending this, the queen's defending this, the rook's defending this. Something's got to give. This move is just a tricky move. Okay. Now, if I was Kangaroo, thanks for the sub, Dante. If I was Kangaroo and I sent this game in and I was really proud, I would guess that he took this bishop, which is a bad move. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
I was wrong. He played the right move. Rook c4. Now the audience is confused. Now both sides resigned.
Yay, thank you, Thaddeus. And thank
You got to
Dante.
calculate your way out of this. So the three engine moves are a3. That way the knight's defended, so you can take. Knight c2, because, or rook fe1. Let's see what he played. Knight c2, good move. d3, also a good move. Okay, knight b4 is a blunder. He should play knight d4 because see how this queen is defending the pawn? Mm-hmm. So after knight b4, I could play d2. After knight d4, the queen's not defending anymore. So after knight d4, white's better. The second best move is a move none of you would ever think of ever. And when I show it to you, you can be confused. So don't look if you don't like being confused. Rook here, because the rook is better there. If they take, you could take their queen. But then I improve my rook. Yay. But this is the best move. That thwarts, interference and stuff.
But so let me see that move.
Rook fe1?
No.
Knight here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and move it.
Yeah.
So
see how the pawn's attacked?
Yeah, but let's see. I just couldn't visualize it very well. So then what's black's next move?
It wants black to go here, defending the pawn.
Right.
But with my rook here, I'm not doing that. Mm-hmm. I would never go here. If the engine told me to go there, I still wouldn't do it because my rook is here. I would need the engine to tell me every move because I'm going to lose my rook if I go there. I'm not saying I should lose my rook. I'm saying I would lose my rook. Okay, so knight b4, terrible. d2, exclam. So most people are like, isolated pawn, and then Karen starts crying, and I have to console her. And then Kangaroo's like, rawr, I'm German. Now, speaking of German, I have a question. Okay? So it hasn't been on the news in the United States. I don't know why. I actually don't know why. But in the Netherlands, we saw videos on YouTube and Twitter and other places. Many people are saying, and the police are giving people the smackdown. They're sicking the dogs on them, hitting them with the batons.
They're letting the dogs maul people.
Yeah, now, if there's some Germans here, what do you think about that?
And hitting them.
Yeah, what is going on here?
Man, I cannot stand cops.
Right, but here's my question. Not that the Dutch police are crazy,
Horrible
and
humans.
not that. Not that it's all. My question is this: I haven't seen it on TV. Haven't seen it on CNN, local news, national news.
TMZ had it.
Right, what's going on here?
It's strange. I mean, it made me so mad. And people were peacefully protesting, as far as I could tell in the video clip.
There's only one person who hates police more than us.
Spencer.
Yeah. Right, that's right, Kangaroo.
I'm not a big fan of the police.
I'm German, exactly.
It is about the protests.
In Amsterdam? Amsterdam, the police are beating protesters? Amsterdam?
Hey, no, it wasn't the anti-vaxxers. No, it was the cops going crazy.
Yeah, the cops went crazy.
The cat.
Yeah,
I'm with the anti-vaxxers this time.
I'm Dutch and those people deserved it? Incorrect.
Not in the video I saw.
Nobody deserves getting dogs, except the guys for January 6th who were trying to kill the cops.
You can't stick dogs on somebody because they don't have their mask
You
on.
could argue both sides gone crazy. I just saw people walking. But anyway, that's not the point. The point isn't that... The point isn't like who's right. That's not my question. My question is, it's not on the news in the U.S. It's not on any news. I haven't seen it on TV, and I watch every TV station. Mm-hmm. I only heard of it because Karen told me that I went to YouTube. I was
so mad about it, I told Ben about it.
How is it not on TV? Yeah. And so forth.
Terrible.
Boo.
Yeah, I don't like the police. You can't.
Yay, 1,000 centidues. Sometimes against E4, I'll transpose like Anand used to play.
The model.
I could pay 50 if you want to look at the game. Yeah, just go to Twitter and put it on. Can you go to Twitter? I'm not Twitter. Can you go to Discord and put it on? Also, who are you?
Anybody that becomes a cop, they just have this need to, sadistic need to, punish people.
Okay, you can paste it here, but let me look at some other games first. Yeah. No, I don't understand because everything's on TV here, but they're so busy with January 6th and Trump texted somebody. They don't talk about, like, there was a big story which got like very little play here. It was not in the U.S. and there was like 1 trillion people were killed when something exploded, and it like wasn't on the news here because it wasn't in the U.S. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but like dozens of people were killed, and there was like an explosion, and this was like a month ago, and then like in the U.S. like nobody cared. Mm-hmm. I've never been so mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about it. Mm-hmm. Sorry, we got sidetracked again.
Yeah. It's on CBS News Now. There you go.
It is?
It was in Beirut. I think you're right. Like if that happened in the U.S., it would be 24/7 on every news channel.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't even mentioned. I mean, come on. Yeah. I actually like news. I don't like when they have a panel of 6 people. I don't like that. I like news. Like they go somewhere and they're like, look, and I'm like, all right. Like when everybody stopped on 95, then you see it. That's news. That's what I like. But whenever there's people sitting around talking and yelling, that's just entertainment. I don't want to watch that. It's not entertaining. Okay.
I agree. MPK 219. Yeah, Fox News would be very confused.
Night C2. So this is funny. The guy went here, and then when that didn't work, he's like, let me go back here. Never going back. Queen D3. Super aggressive. I like it. Knight B4 again. Always repeat. Okay, good. Queen D7 is good. Yeah, now black is winning because white's dilly-dallying around. A3 is too slow. A5, good. Knight A2? Okay, now, when white played A3, okay, which I don't understand. I guess he saw A5 and wanted to go here, which is insane. What? Why would you want to go here? Well, the guy did go here, so I guess that's the second best square. It's very, and I'm going to tell you a Kaidanov story that I already told you, but it was like 4 years ago. It's very, 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 very important you have peace activity. It's so important, I can't stress it enough. If you could like activate your pieces or take a queen, then take the queen, but it's close. And lower rated players, this is how they think. No, they think, I can't make the jokes. I can't think of what are the terrible Vin Diesel movies? There's like 30 of them.
I don't see those movies.
There's like, the chat's going to know that. God damn, the chat's going to know that. Let's get, look at it. Let's scroll.
I know the movie.
It's, Fast and Furious. Yeah, they're going to know that. Yeah, notice how it's scrolling. Yeah, I told you. Yeah, it's like, I don't even know what I was trying to make a joke about. But anyway, terrible. You can't have inactive pieces. You have to have active pieces. And Kaidanov was saying when he was teaching chess camps, the kids were very concerned with their pawn structure, but not with piece activity. Pawn structure don't mean shit. I give pawn structure to my mother. Would you give me a pawn structure? Fuck you. All right. What movie? I took pawn structure and replaced it from the foot massage. Pulp Fiction. There we go. Yeah. Pawn structure don't mean shit. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is whose pieces are active. Let's analyze. That knight's the worst knight ever. You agree? This rook can't move, right?
I mean, pawn structure
doesn't matter. No, stop. Don't tell them the wrong stuff. Now, you will agree that this has equal material.
Yeah.
And you agree black's pieces are more active. Mm-hmm. And then it says black is up 4. Black's not up material. Black doesn't have a threat that wins anything. But that knight is so bad. And one of the reasons I think white was embarrassed. White played knight c2 here, knight c2 here. And he's like, I don't want to go back there. I look like an idiot. So he went here because that's somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Blah. Okay. So Kangaroo played f5. Good. Queen e2. That's probably the wrong rook. You probably want to play this rook here because you want this rook on the file here. So this would have been made more sense. Here you're doubling up on the bubble up. That's not very good bubble up. Rook here would be better because you have this, rook against his queen. King h2. If I was white, I would play here. The king's worse on h2 because he's on this open diagonal. Queen b5 is the best move. I've never seen you play the best move. Notice how he's threatening here. Mm-hmm. Good threat. b4. Oh, God. Ugh. Now, here's a funny tactic Kangaroo missed. Ready? Bam! That's because he didn't discover it.
Oh, I see. Queens.
Yeah, then if they trade queens, then that's a good pawn structure.
But you said it didn't matter.
Yeah, black's winning anyway. Right. Oh, the pawn structure doesn't matter. That's right. It doesn't. Look at these great pieces. Damn.
But that would be helpful for them to have that bad.
It's funny how you played here, and then he moved his b pawn so that everything's hanging. It's good. C takes, is that the worst way of all three? Nope, it's only second worst. Queen e5 check. G3's bad. Rook c2. See how active black's pieces are? Now still, black is not up material. And the engine says 4.5 for black. Because black's pieces are all good, and white's pieces are shallow and pedantic. Bishop f4 attacking the queen. Now the number one engine move here, okay, I understand it finally. The number one engine move here, if your opponent played it, you report them to chess.com. Let's see if Kangaroo played it. He did. You reported to chess.com. Okay, and that move was first played in the game That Guy versus Morphy, when he played knight g3, which was the greatest move ever. Yeah. So that is the best move, but I would never play that move. I would just move my queen. But it tactically works. Notice we're threatening the queen twice. And then if he plays one of the obvious queen captures, we can throw in this Zwischenzug. That's why he did it, because he's German. Then when we take back here, this knight is still hanging at the end.
Wait, show me what.
So if you take the queen either way,
Okay.
let's say you take with the bishop. I just take the queen then. If you take with the queen, I take this rook check, then I take the queen, then I take that. God damn.
Okay, I see.
All right.
Oh yeah, because you.
So yeah, reported. Right. Knight takes g3, report. Okay. Queen takes. He does Zwischenzug because he's German. Didn't take the knight, which is weird. Took the queen. Now this is hanging, and black's up a rook. Rook c1, a move I would never consider. Rook c1's the best move, but I would just take that because simplest is the best. And then your opponent resigned because you're too good tactically. Yeah, you basically ran that guy over. But that was a good example of inactive, terrible, passive pieces against great pieces. Now I want to go back because I want to see how many times he moved his knight.
Yeah, that was exciting ending there. That was exciting.
Okay, so look at his queen knight. We're going to count. Okay? 1,
I'm impressed by that
2,
kangaroo.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Imagine moving your knight 10 times and your knight's here. Did you imagine that? Now,
That's a lot of money.
here's the problem that white had. He let black push his pawn and he literally didn't care. Pawn on the 7th, if you don't just take it right away, god damn, pawn's good.
Yeah, that was exciting ending.
Yeah, then it's funny that the knight defends c1 and kangaroo literally didn't care. That's the only thing the knight does is defend c1 and he played rook c1. That's funny.
He did it. I haven't played kangaroo in a long time. My only hope is to beat him on time.
Oh, thanks for the 10,000 bits, Sven Beingold, that you haven't given me yet, but you will. All right.
Yay, that was exciting.
So that wasn't a perfect game, but you played much better than your opponent. So you can't play perfect games if they know you're cheating.
That was a crowd pleaser.
Yeah. No, you didn't cheat.
No.
Most people who cheat don't put their games out here and say, look at my game. I said most. Kangaroo wouldn't cheat because that's ridiculous. When you cheat at chess, you have some mental problem, or you really, really, really need the money, right? Like, let's say you have a kid and they're peeing in their Pampers, and you can't afford Pampers because you're in an Eminem song, right? Mm-hmm. And then you cheat online and get that money. But most people who cheat online aren't cheating to win money; they just cheat online. The mental issues.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's this saying here?
What?
What's?
Yeah, he's gonna give me 10,000 bits.
Oh, okay.
And I'll look at his game. Yeah.
We said do the other ones first.
Yeah. It's the one time he didn't cheat, right?
Big Daddy says I'm too bad to cheat.
My son is timed out for simply saying media protects left government.
Yeah, Big Daddy and I have that famous game, Karen's Immortal.
You're all banned. Mm-hmm.
It's true. It's
Damn
only
cheater. That's right. There's not enough money in online chess for Pampers. Pampers are expensive. Yeah. Oh, snap. Yeah, if you don't like the stream or what we do, then you can watch other streams. Yeah. And so forth.
What did he say? I wasn't paying attention.
He said my son was timed out for like saying some insane nonsense. And then he said, we're not going to sub anymore. Rawr, I'm mad. Yeah. If you're easily offended or if you're right wing, this isn't the stream for you. Yeah, if you're right wing, watch like the Hitler stream or something. I don't know. Okay.
Oh, now I got to investigate.
He said the media protects the left or something, something ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah.
See.
Never been so mad.
Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, white supremacists and Nazis and conservatives and Republicans, don't watch my stream. Go watch somewhere else. Yeah, go watch your white supremacist stream.
Is it this guy?
I don't know. What? If you like Alex Jones, that's a mental disorder, so you can still watch. That's not because you're Republican.
I'm not sure if this is the one.
I don't even know where you're looking.
Well, I mean, his name is like trying to get us to say some naughty words. Jack McGough. Was that him?
I don't know.
Jack.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Latin Americans are able to stay? Yes, but I am going to build a wall in my home, and I don't know. All right.
All right. Well, never mind. It's not that important.
Never mind. Okay, this was the first game that was submitted that I have. This is The Night Before versus Penguin Wizard 7. Do you know who Penguin Wizard 7's brother is?
No.
Pinball Wizard. Has to be a twist.
Yeah,
Notice how I said, do you know who it is? Oh, snap. Let me see what they wrote about this.
I mean, I let people in this chat that don't agree with me politically.
This is from Theo,
It's not my stream, though.
and I don't know which one you are. You didn't write anything. So hopefully you're white. Theo, are you here? You're Theo? Were you white? He does have a supple wrist. That's right. Are old school Jeffersonian Republicans welcome in the stream? Man, if I said what I want to say, I would be off of Twitch forever. But yes.
Everybody's welcome.
Man, I want to say
Just
something.
Behave.
Yeah.
That's all. Just behave. It's not that
Look, I don't
hard.
care if you're white, black, or Asian or whatever. Oh, you have the white pieces. Okay. It's a good joke.
It's fine. Just just everybody behave.
Huh?
It's all good.
That's right. Hopefully, exactly.
We're all in this together. Now, come on.
Man, where's Kangaroo to denounce the guy who said we don't have that stuff in Germany? Don't have Republicans and Democrats. What? You got to have two crazy parties. How can you be a country without two crazy parties? Yeah. My favorite Republican, and he could be watching now, is, Rockefeller, like the fourth. I don't know. He doesn't even know. I asked him. He's like, I don't know. And he's actually the son of the guy who was the vice president. Rockefeller was vice president to Nixon. Nixon had a lot of vice presidents.
Yeah.
That was one of them. But I met his son. He's a chess supporter. He's a fan of my stream. He could be watching now. And he's not poor. And he's a Republican, but he's like Republicans that hate Trump because he's not an idiot. He hates Trump more than I do, which is impossible. Yeah, that's correct. I think he had 3 vice presidents. Agnew, Rockefeller, and Ford, right?
I don't know. Are police dogs allowed to watch this stream?
If they're good dogs. Only if they're good dogs. All right. Also, you're all banned. I never saw anybody get mad that somebody was timed out. I mean, if you're banned, okay, you can be mad, but timed out.
I just missed the whole thing, but I guess it doesn't matter what happened.
Anyway, I didn't time you out, but you should have been. Yeah. Attica.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully nobody got banned. Even the
Everybody's
guy,
banned. It was his son. Right.
What did you do to the son? Like
I didn't do
banned
anything.
him
I've done nothing. I've not. You see me ban anybody? I don't even know how to ban people. You kidding me? Okay, what movie? Attica. 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 Ugh. Terrible.
I don't know.
Dog Day Afternoon.
Oh.
Now name all the stars.
Al Pacino.
Correct.
Let's see. Dustin Hoffman, maybe. Oh.
No. John Cazale.
Oh.
Let's see how much they're giving me. $10.
I can't remember who else in it.
And then the third guy, he died recently. Chris Sarandon was great. He was up for an Academy Award. He might have won it for Best Supporting. The police officer. Well, I know his name. I just can't think of it. He was in Tootsie. Come on, guys. There's 3,500 of you. Come on.
I was going to say John Lithgow.
No.
I'm seeing Bane.
How do you guys not know? He's a famous actor. He died like 2 years ago. 3 years ago. Actually, no, he died a long time ago. It was the guy that I confused him with. I confused him with Brian Dennehy. Yeah. Really, nobody knows? It's the cop from Dog Day Afternoon. I know his name. I just can't say it. But give me a second. Give me like an hour. Charles Durning. Thank you. Good you looked that up. He was the guy who fell in love with Dustin Hoffman in Tootsie.
Okay.
And then Dustin Hoffman's like, I'm a guy. And he's like, oh. So, truth hurts.
Charles Durning?
Yeah.
You know, he was in that movie that was filmed in the apartment building.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't talk to him, but I was in the lobby with him more than once.
Chris Penn was very good. You're thinking of Chris Sarandon.
Hey, thank you, C.L. Smith.
I'm not even sure Chris Penn was alive when Dog Day Afternoon was made.
I saw the message. Thank you, C.L. Smith.
Chris Penn was really good in Reservoir Dogs. He's really good in two scenes. Okay, these are my two favorite scenes with him. He's sitting there with his dad, and the guy walks in who's been in prison forever, and they like fake fight. That was the most dangerous fake fight I ever saw. Like they're pretending to fight because they're like friends, but I mean they could have got hurt in that fight. I saw that fight. Maybe they had stunt doubles and you couldn't see their face because they were like throwing each other on the floor. Those are big guys. I mean those guys are huge. Okay, and then the other one is when he's really, really, really mad because they killed that guy. And he says, well, he was going to steal all the money. And he's furious. He says, that guy who went in prison for 8 years, he could have got out by just saying my dad's name. And he was really furious. I never saw anybody that mad and he was acting. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Penn was great. R.I.P. Okay. Don't point that gun at my dad. Yeah. What's happening?
I was just looking at something.
Oh, make sure you ban everybody. No, Chris Penn's great. Jim Belushi is not. Chris Penn's a good actor. Jim Belushi's not a good actor. Don't compare Chris Penn to Jim Belushi. Compare Jim Belushi to Jerry Van Dyke. Then you're doing great. Okay, so this is the night before. He's a penguin wizard. Queen's Indian. Now, if you want to play G3, but you don't want to allow the Queen's Indian, I'm not saying that, but if you play G3 here, if you want to play a Catalan. Once you play here, they can play the Benoni, the Bogo Indian, or the Queen's Indian, or just regular D5. Okay, so we have a Queen's Indian. This is the old line from a million years ago. No, this was theory before Karen was born. So they used to play Queen C2, then they started playing Bishop D2, and then everybody stopped playing the line. Nobody plays Queen's Indian anymore. Okay, Bishop D2, that's the most, that's the current stuff. F5, I didn't turn this on. Knight E5, that move I don't know. Not that I know any move. Let's see, what does the engine say? Knight E5 seems okay. Okay, H4 is absurd. Terrible engine. Yeah, just play some boring move. Okay, Knight E5 I like because it's interesting. Knight takes. Yeah, this is just better for white. The reason is when black plays F5, black's playing for activity. He's playing dangerous, exciting, great chess. Then he trades everything off. So now black has no attack and white just has the center. And these pieces, pretty passive. So this is a dream for white. If I was white, I want this position. And when the guys play F5 against me, they go here and they checkmate me. But when the guy trades all the pieces off, so I'm not really a fan of knight takes C3. Thanks, Chairman ShamWow. Yeah, Bishop F6 looks good. Like, put some pressure on the center there. I mean, the knight's on E4. That's a good knight. So trading it isn't what I want to do. Yeah, I like Bishop F6. Okay, so white's clearly better. Knight D3 is good. C5 is very weakening. Now, Karen, of these 8 pawns, which is the weakest?
The one on E6.
Right. By the way, the night before, you're either really high rated or you're cheating a little. The night before, you're playing like At least 2,100. Most of the people on my stream are like 1,200. So I'm confused. Hopefully you're cheating. You're 2506 Blitz? Okay, that's okay. Yeah, he seemed like he was too good to play like this to be on my stream. Yeah.
You've got some good people on this.
Well, he's playing way too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been so mad. Okay, so knight here, punishing him. Now, when you play f5, like in a Dutch or anytime, if you play d6 or d5, which you usually do, you got to watch this pawn because you undefended it twice. Okay, queen c8, d5 is obvious. Right. Now, if Carlson was white, they'd have to calm him down. He'd be too excited. They'd have to give him some, some medication. So this is funny. If you're a low-rated player, you're like, I like white, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a super GM, this game's over. It's over. Black moved all of his pawns, good idea except for one thing, and then didn't get these pieces out. Bishop is passive. The two pieces that I liked those pieces. Then he traded them. Blah! I've never been so angry. So even though material's equal, because of the activity of white's pieces, white is +2. 2197 rapid in the PGN. What? I don't know. Maybe he meant 2500 on Lee chess. Okay, e5, knight e6, obviously. Right. So black needs to kick this knight out, like by playing this. Mm-hmm. But while he's doing that, white's going to, force a reckoning. Okay, excellent move. Okay, so with white here, here's what's very important. And this is the planning thing you were talking about. White's position is great. Great. Knight's on e6, pawns on d5. This bishop is shallow and pedantic. These pieces haven't moved. However, if you do nothing, like queen here and rook here, just do nothing, then black's going to get his knight out, trade for your knight, get this rook out, and he'll start to attack. So you got to punish him while this is still here. Okay, and the way to punish him is to open it up on the bubble up. Okay, that way your pieces are ready, okay, and then his pieces are here. So e4 is the best move. You got to open that shit up. F takes is probably not the best move. Queen g4 is the best move. Queen takes e4. Knight f8, he's trying to kick the knight out. f4. Yeah, it seems like you're cheating because you play the engine move every move. So I'm not saying you're cheating. It just seems like you are. Okay, so every move white played is the correct move. He never made a mistake because he did what I said. e4, f4. Whenever you see this pawn structure and you see a bishop here, you got to play f4. You got to do it. Yeah. Right, when everybody says I'm cheating, I'm like, yay, I played well, but nobody ever says it. Like when I beat Mamadjarov with black, there should have been accusations that I cheated. Should have been. But when you look at the game with an engine, you're like, yeah, that guy didn't cheat. God damn. Man, the engine hated the way I played that game. Yeah, nobody ever accuses me of cheating because I don't ever do anything good. But I've had students that are accused of cheating. In fact, one in particular is Talia Cervantes. She was accused of cheating by Chessbra fans. Then the Chessbras apologized. Also, half the time when she's accused of cheating, she loses. Seriously. So everybody's crazy. Yeah, I taught Talia for like 2 years. She's pretty good. You have COVID? If it's a mild COVID, then, it doesn't matter. If you're like having trouble breathing, then I'll tell you a joke. Yeah.
You have COVID, Paul? Drink water. I had COVID.
Most people have COVID. My son's half-sister that you guys don't know, not my daughter, the other one, her and her family had COVID over a year ago. Then they got it again. And they're alive. Yeah, everybody's going to get COVID. Just don't have the COVID where you can't breathe. Have the COVID where you're like, I have COVID? What do you mean? Yeah, have that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't have the other one where you're like in the hospital on a ventilator. Yeah, don't do that.
Codex, you might have COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get some of those home tests.
What's more unlikely? I beat Mamadrov with black, or I never got COVID? How could I never have had COVID? How's that possible? You agree that it's ridiculous I don't have COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised I had not had it until I got it.
But we didn't do anything. We did nothing. I was like this, and boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Well, by the time that we knew I had COVID,
but I was always hanging out with. I
was already past the.
How do I not have COVID?
And the kids didn't get it either. And I wasn't super sick, so maybe my viral load was not high.
Man, god damn, I can't make those jokes. Oh well. All right. So F4, still cheating. Good. Rook F6. See, now he wants to take with the queen. You agree. But then the rook's hanging.
Okay.
Yeah. This looks like Magnus Carlsen doofus. You don't understand how much I like White's position. You'll never understand. Like, ugh. See how it says plus 2.3? It's like plus 7 for me. Yeah. Okay, you played F5, I assume. Oh, queen D5, proving you're not cheating. Good. So the engine wants to go here, but his move is more flexible because he might take this and win material. He might go here. And after here, if you take with the rook, F5 wins the pinned rook. And queen takes loses this rook. So this move actually like better than F5. King H8's forced. Then he took. Okay, F5 is probably better, but he's cashing in. Okay, and the engine wants to play rook here because this rook isn't playing. So get that rook in there. This move is also winning, but there's no reason to do that when you can play rook here. Black doesn't have any. Black's queen is tied down to his rook. He can't like move his queen out and get his rook in the game.
Right.
He's just stuck. So getting this rook here would be very Morphy-esque. Okay, now I realize he's not cheating. Good. The second best move is here. But lower rated players like, this guy, very low rated, you're like, yeah, I want a pawn. Okay, you got to get those active pieces. Rawr.
Well, Ben was tested. He was negative, but I guess he could be positive now.
If I was positive, I'd be dead.
Asymptomatic.
Yeah, I'm asymptomatic.
I want to get some of the home tests to make it a little bit.
Thanks, C. Dallas. Okay, I'm a terrible player, but I love your classes. I was terrible at chess before you were born. Okay, takes. You have to take with the rook, which he did. Now you have this cool move, and you played it, and then you win the bishop. Yeah, Papa John's. Now, I don't like this technique because you cashed everything in to win a pawn, but now these pieces can get out. So you got rid of most of your advantage. You're still winning, but you were more winning when your opponent couldn't move anything. It's hard not to cash in. People like to cash in. But, yeah.
Get while the getting's good.
Why can't take the pawn with the bishop? Good question. Bishop takes, bam. Now after rook now rook takes attack the queen because I said so. Now the rook doesn't attack the queen, so we can do whatever we want, which is this. Now you know my rule, always play bishop f8. That seems like it's the most obvious move of all time, right? Now the queen's overworked. So we just take that and then take that, Papa John's. So you have to play rook g6, and then everything wins. Every move wins immediately. Rook here wins, rook here wins, rook d7 wins. It's, best pieces ever. Rook takes was better because you attack the queen. Now you could try to play bishop f6 or queen g8 or rook g6, but you still gained a tempo. Rook d2 check, king g1. Let me show you how hard chess is, right? Rook f2, white is slightly better. King g1, white's winning. Otherwise, white's lost. Man, chess is tough. Because, you're getting checkmated over here. So you got to... Okay, queen d8. Okay, now, I say this every stream and nobody listens except the night before. You listened. Whose king is safer? white's is a little safer. 2 pawns instead of 1, right? And this rook can't get out, and this rook can. And whose queen is better? Well, the queen that's on the original square or the queen that's taken everything. So white shouldn't trade queens. If you get taught by some stupid teacher, which all of you do, all your teachers are stupid, they would be like, oh, you're pawn up, do this. Ugh. That's why your teacher teaches chess and doesn't play chess. Okay, so queen e5 check, that's the best queen ever. That queen is shallow and pedantic. And this gains a tempo. Queen takes queen gains a tempo for your opponent. Boo! So this will be a horrible move, and this is an excellent move. Okay, now the best move for white is actually funny. You want to play rook here check because I said so. Or rook here check, right? And black wants to play what move to not get mated? If it was black to move here, what move would he play and he would never get mated? I do not teach chess.
A real move or like a...
Right, you could play it right now. Yeah. Black to move, you don't want to get mated. What move is sure as you won't get mated? You'll never get mated. Ever. And I'll get parry while you're looking.
Let me see.
Gonna put some more Perrier in the fridge. Anybody want Perrier?
Play queen d4.
What's that?
Well, queen d4.
Correct. White just avoided a queen trade, and black is threatening queen d4 check trading queens. Then his king is very safe. So Karen, if you want to put your rook on g4 or g5 and checkmate your opponent, and your opponent wants to play queen d4 check trading queens, what move do you play?
Rook, rook f4.
Correct. That's the engine move. I'm not saying that he played it. I'm just saying that's the best move. So not only are you threatening rook g4 check, and not only are you stopping queen d4 check, maybe one day you'll get your rook into the game. I doubt it, but maybe. Okay, he played rook f4, proving he's cheating again. Right, now he wants to give mate, and he stopped the queen trade, and this rook can come here. That's how you play chess. In positions where you're winning, like white's winning, white's up a pawn, better queen, safer king, rook hasn't moved yet, terrible. You don't want black to do what he wants to do. Black wants to trade queens and go to the pawn down double rook ending, which may even be a draw, maybe. Okay, rook d1 check. That's considered a blunder. Then black's dead lost. Black's supposed to go here so he can defend with his rook. Now, obviously, you're trying to trade. The thing is, if black doesn't perpetual white, and he won't, then he just gets mated because this rook isn't helping. Now, in your opinion, which rook is better, this one or this one?
Well, I mean, the black rook.
Right. So why is black trading for that rook? Boo! Yeah. Now, look at that king. I haven't seen anything that naked since this morning. Right? Yeah. Exactly. If you played rook f5, you wouldn't have lost. You would have just, Okay, so rook d8. God damn, walking into this queen and rook. Now, you can't play check here because of this. So he played king h3, which is fine. Queen e6 check is the engine move. That way you're defending this. But okay, it doesn't matter. King h3 is good because not only does he stop these checks, but he's defending the square. The king is really safe here. What's funny is if you watch a movie or TV show, when somebody plays check, their opponent always responds with check, which would be the case here. It's unusual in real life, but in the movies and TV, it's always the case. Okay, he stopped rook here. Got to stop that. Check. Rook f7. God damn. So he stopped this check. The only way to stop mate is to trade queens into the dead lost endgame. Thanks for the $3.99. Rawr, go away COVID. Now the engine doesn't want to do that. It wants to do something more aggressive, but I like this. Queen g4 is forced. And this is an easily winning ending. The king is dead, right? 2 connected pass pawns. Rook on the 7th, plus 5. Rook d4 check. King goes up, good. Rook f2. I wouldn't play rook f2, but it's a safe move. It's safe to win. But, I don't really care about these pawns. I can mate my opponent and get 2 queens. The engine either plays here, or takes. But rook f2 is fine. You're still winning. I don't like letting the king go up. This just proves you're not using an engine. Yeah, you should be more worried about his king coming up than him taking a pawn. You can do this, and you win. Okay. And you're still winning, of course. Yeah, easily winning. Man, the truth hurts. Put it in H. Very good technique. That's what she said. Yeah, his moves sort of like help you along. They're like, yeah, I'll check. He can push his pawn. Bam. Now, I wouldn't even consider that move because that has nothing to do with what I'm doing. This is actually forced mate. You can't play king here because of mate. And then you play king h6. That way you're ready for either check. There's no stalemates because black has these 3 pawns. So if you check here, g6, Papa John's. And if you check here, I can play king g6, also Papa John's. So that would have been a quicker way to win, but you took a pawn, safe. And then he resigned after you took the pawn. That was good. But yes, still completely winning. So a very good game by you. And in fact, that was a good game to show Karen for the strategical things. Black did a lot of stuff before black developed the pieces. And the first 3, 4, 5, 6 moves of the game, almost all of you develop your pieces. Then you're like, that's enough. And you got to get all your pieces out. And one of the things that I did on my stream years ago was I would go to chess. I do this with my students too. I would go to ChessBase, the mega database where there's billions of games or millions. And I would just randomly click on one. And if the players were GMs, I would go to move like 12 or 13. And all the pieces are out for both sides. But when I look at your games, the people who are putting games here, one side has their pieces out there, and one's like, I moved a couple of pieces out. That's good enough. And in this game, when black put, these are the 2 best pieces, this one and this one, right? Mm-hmm. And then he traded them off immediately. These aren't good. This isn't good. Nothing's good. And d6 in this position and c5 just lets this e pawn get attacked. So you can't do that. In this position, you have to see knight f4 and d5 are coming because that's your weak point. You have to do something about it now. c5 is a terrible blunder. The only super GM who would play such a terrible blunder would be like, Nepo. Oh, snap. Gotcha, Nepomniachtchi. And the better you get at chess, the more you hate black's position here. Okay, like if super GMs were playing, black could resign. Worst position ever. If low-rated players are playing, it's equal because white doesn't know what to do. White needs to do this, which is what he did in the game, to punish this nonsense. And then white's pieces come to fruition. It's a long way to Tipperary.
Hey, bro, how's it going? I have sinus pressure tonight.
All right, you're all banned. All right, next. Next. It's Farty Party versus Alfredo Pita.
Hey, FK,
not as good as Alfredo Pasta. Yeah. 2259 subscribers. Damn, we need like 700 more people. Yay, it's Spencer. His lessons are probably done.
Yay.
Go, Spencer.
I was going to try to go to karaoke, but I can't go now.
Spencer, what do you give the Indian restaurant on a 1 to 10 scale for Karen? I think Spencer's going to say 8.5. Archer always says this is the best food I've ever had. He said that again. And I'm like, you said that last time.
I know.
Right. Yeah, 8.5. See?
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. I like that place. The reason Spencer doesn't give it a 9 or higher is because they have cans of Coke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yay, thanks, Grungewort, for the 5 subs.
I didn't go to the Indian restaurant. So I don't even know.
She ate with some guy. I don't know. Naroditsky was in town. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to lunch with my brother, my older brother.
There's no queue. I just click on games and look at them if I want to. Spender is right. Right. You know who's even better than Spender? I bet you Spencer's going to get it. Who's even better than Spender? Come on, Spencer, get it. It's really hard to get, but I think he can do it. I'll be so happy. Sponder, okay, he made a better joke. Yeah, it was Bonder. I see your friend Bonder. Wait a minute, his name is Bender. Sponder, that's even better.
What's wrong with can of Cokes? I don't know, maybe.
No, because they keep bringing them to you and charging you for each one. He likes the fountain where you just keep getting free refills. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son is also Bonder. Oh, I'm talking with your friend Bonder. What does Bonder say? Rusty Kwame subscribed. Hey, I have a question. Is Kwame Kilpatrick out of jail? I think he is. What do you think? I think he is.
I don't know.
Did Kwame Kilpatrick get out of jail? Like a year or two ago,
What
maybe.
was he in there for?
You know, he's just taking city money and, you know, and chilling with it. He was having like X-rated parties at his mayor's mansion. Very suspicious. Drugs and, you know, underage and stuff. Kwame Brown. Yeah, he was good. Thanks, JJ Wad 95. Marion Barry. All right, here we go.
All right.
Farty Party is white. This was on Chess 24. I think Farty Party is the only person who plays on Chess 24. This is probably like one of his other accounts. So Farty Party always plays F4, as we saw in the previous time I did a game analysis, which was only his. Kwame got released a year ago. Good, good. Yeah. Okay. So he always does this. Yeah, it's funny because here's what happened. Strapunski did this against Naka in the U.S. Championship with white, and Strapunski lost. Then the next year, Naka played it against Yasser and other people, but mainly Yasser, and just won easily. And then Yasser, after the game, said, maybe D5 is a mistake, I should play this. And some people played this, like me, Perlstein Feingold, Spice Cup. I lost in 90 moves. Knight A3. So the idea is white doesn't want to play D4 because then black has a target, okay? And he wants black to go to Walmart because that's worse than target. After D4, we can hammer the D4 pawn as you've done many times in the French. He's just going to play D3 or bishop D3 and let these pawns sit here doing nothing. And he's going to attack on the king side instead of fooling around in the center. Okay, A6 is ridiculous. Terrible move. Knight C2, Knight E7, and then he played mate. Bishop D3, the point. I don't like C4. That gives away the D4 square and it weakens. I don't like that. Knight F5. Now he played D4 because there's no pawn here. So he can't, there's no pressure. So now black has a Sophie's choice. Either we take this, which is terrible, or we don't take it, which is terrible. The engine doesn't take it. I probably would take it because I can't have this position like this. This is black has no play at all, and white's just going to checkmate black. So I would probably take it, but the engine hates that move. But see, and this is why you don't play C4 early, because you want pressure against the D4 pawn. He delayed playing D4, and then he played it after C4, so now there's no pressure. So in these kinds of positions, if you're going to have them, you want the white pawn to be on A3, like in the A3 French advance. That way, you can stop B3, because you can play here and here and here. And then, if white can't play B3, I said if, then you can safely castle queenside. You can't safely castle queenside here, because B3, and I open up the queenside. Also, you can't safely castle kingside. So this sucks. You don't play C4 when the pawn's on A2, because the king has nowhere to go. Okay, bishop E7, castles. If you play G6 in the French, just quit chess. Yeah, G6 is always bad. That gives a target for white when he plays F5. It weakens all the squares around here. It is terrible. What black needs to do is either castle and take it like a man, or play h5 and stop white from playing g4. I'd probably play h5. But you can't play g6. Yeah, now you're just going to get crushed. G4. Oh, God. You can't play knight g7. You can't play so passively. Boo, boo. All right. Now, g5 is a double-edged move. It gives away this. Okay, so I wouldn't play it. And he wants to get his knight in here, which is unstoppable, unless he stops it with h5. So this, you have to give squares to get squares. Who said that? Famous world champion.
I don't know.
Fischer. I'm not a fan of g5, and the reason I'm not a fan of g5 isn't because I don't like white's position after g5. It's because I like white's position so much, I'm not giving anything. I don't see what black's going to do here. Thanks, Challenger. If black plays h5, I'll play h3. And then I don't know where this king is going, but I'm going to play f5 later. If the king goes over here, I'll play b3. So probably b3 now is good. Okay. So he played h5, which is correct, stopping knight g4. You played knight h4. Probably that's a mistake. I don't think the knight's good here. That's you're putting all your eggs in one basket, which as a vegan I don't do. You're trying to sack everything. When you play here, you're trying to do something crazy. So this move I don't like. So g5, knight h4, that made your position worse. Bishop c8 means he wants to go here, I think, but that's silly. He should just castle here. His king is safe enough now because these pawns are here. g5, knight h4 is pretty bad. I think Farty Party is just proving he wasn't cheating with an engine. Okay, bishop c8, king h1. Then he castled. Okay. b3. Yeah, now black is okay because the black king isn't over here. Yeah, g5 here is bad. Now, if you want to see a position like this, except white's king was over here, it's a game I played Priyadarshan Kanapan in St. Louis about 4 years ago. And we had the same pawn structure on the king side. And then I just checkmated him on the queen side because he couldn't do anything. Hooray for Ben. That's one of my favorite games against Priyadarshan. The players are like 22, 2300. Depends what site you're on. Okay, queen a5. That's a silly move. b4. Wouldn't play that. I played bishop d2. And then a4, obviously. This position's about equal because nobody can win. Bishop b7 is funny because you can play a5 now. Just for funny. But he decided he's going to triple it up like Fischer did. Oh, he played f5. Wow. Thought you were going to play rook here, rook here, rook here, here, and Fischer-Spassky 1992, game 1, right?
Yeah.
Now, for trillions and trillions of dollars, where were they playing?
Tell me the year again.
1992, Fischer-Spassky, game 1. Rui Lopez, where he tripled on the A file.
Where they were playing, I don't know.
Sveti Stefan.
Oh.
Or Stefan Sveti. In Yugoslavia, yeah.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
F-Cup. He likes
And
my earrings.
the reason I knew that is I asked Joe Pesci, and he said, Yugoslavia. And I was like, yeah. I said 1992, not 1972. Okay, so you played F5, crazy like Fox News. Yeah. So basically, Farty Party had a monster space advantage, and then he gave away all the squares, and he made it where it was sort of like equal. And now he's trying to crash through. EF is correct. Sacking is correct. Bishop takes g5 is ridiculous. Okay, so as Yasser would say, when they sack a piece, you should take it. So he needs to take it. White gets an attack. Black has an extra piece. The engine says it's about equal. If you don't take the piece, then white has the attack for nothing. So it's really bad not to take the piece because it's going to be the same attack. You just won't be a piece up. So you got to take this. Then after knight takes, the engine wants to play the king back here, and it says it's about equal. Probably it's good for white because when the engine says equal, that means it defends perfectly, which humans don't. Right now black is just in trouble. Now the reason this knight isn't trapped, it looks trapped, is this pin. You love pins. And then knight takes h5. Whoa, the knight takes h5 because the g pawn's pinned. right?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. So he took the knight. Oh, give me the knight. And now, hopefully, he played knight f5 again. Hopefully. Yeah. Now, if you remember the game we looked at earlier and you don't, white played queen takes b4 in a Sicilian, and that wasn't good. It opened up the bishop and the rook and the so forth. Then white won anyway, right? Okay. And this is the same. Remember when the bishop was here and the pawn was here? If you don't remember, there it is. See? It actually helps black if this pawn is still here, because that opens up roads for white to infiltrate. And that's what happened. Knight f5 check. Now, if you take it, the g file's open, the f file's open, the h pawn's hanging, and this bishop is going to get attacked once I take this. That gains a tempo. Here comes the rook. I wish that white pawn was there so the g file's blocked. A lot of times when you're attacking, your pawns are blocking you. And by giving them away, now you have open files to attack, just like in the other game. Okay, king g8. Again, you got to take the knight and lose. But, I mean, that's pretty losing. Rook takes, rook here. Jesus Christ. All right. Knight d6. The engine wants to play rook g1, but it's hard not to play knight d6. That's a good knight. Now, black has one chance, which I'm sure you didn't find, because black doesn't seem like a good player based on this. Black has to play knight takes e5, and then d4 check, unleashing the latent potential. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right, that's what he has to do. Problem is, after knight takes pawn takes, there's knight takes bishop after here. So the engine wants to play a Zwischenzug. Double hard 99. Thanks. The engine wants to go here, so you can't take the bishop, because d4 is unstoppable. I wish I could go here. Or here. Or here. Or here. But I can't. So this is coming. Okay. And also d4 is interesting. And this isn't good for black, but it's more not good if you don't do it. Then white's just going to run you over. You got to take your chances when you have them. Okay. And he did play that. It says. Yes. Takes. Whoa. And then he went to the end of the game. Hard to understand. Okay. He did play d4 check, and the engine says this is better. If your opponent plays knight takes e5 and bishop c6, then you report them for cheating. Nobody's going to play here, and then this is the follow-up. You don't sack a piece, then make a move that stops this so you can play this later. That's not the way humans think. Okay, bishop f3. The engine wants to take this because two bishops, what else? The reason he didn't take it is because of another Zwischenzug, d3. White has many moves that win, but the easiest is to always retreat. You can't take the bishop because the queen's hanging. And if you take this, then I win more material. White's already up a piece. And then A takes B and, Papa John's. Bishop c1, rook g1. Okay, +6. So he played bishop f3, which is also winning and safer. Queen d1, could play queen g2. Okay, white's just up a piece here. There's rook e8, what? Yeah, you can't take this because the rook's hanging. So he's giving everything away. And now it's just silly. $3, thank you. I'll analyze your game if I get to it. If I don't get to it, I won't. Two queens, what else? Now, if it was white's move here, Karen.
Yeah.
What should white play? It's his move. I accept two answers.
It's white's move.
I accept two answers.
Probably queen f7.
Correct. I would have accepted this, and I would accept that.
Yeah.
Those are the two answers I accept. So can Farty Party explain to me why your opponent's not resigning? I mean, you're up more pieces than atoms in the universe. Is he going to Eric Rosen stalemate himself? He watches your stream? Okay, that's good. Now he resigned after that. He's like, all right, now you got me. What?
Hey, listen, I have to go in a second. I have a lot of sinus pressure all of a sudden. Just want to.
But he just gave me 10,000 bits to do.
I don't feel myself.
See how pretty it is? Who do you feel like? Me? Ugh, horrible. Terrible. Thanks, Fen Beingold.
Probably
I'm
my-
black. It's 1-0 bullet.
My long workout working
All right.
out.
I gotta get that 10,000 bits. Now that's how you get your game analyzed. God damn.
So you're about to defend buying golds?
Mhm,
Or
yeah.
maybe I'll stay for one more, then I'm going to go upstairs. Well, I already had COVID, but the weather here has been messing up my sinuses a little. Yeah, I just don't feel 100% today. I had a long day. I did go to the gym today.
Is that the wrong thing I pushed?
That was the one good thing I did.
I guess it is.
I made cabbage soup. I did a lot of stuff today.
Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. No, I'm not supposed to do that.
Met one of my brothers for lunch.
How come I forgot how to put the names in? What?
I know you can catch different.
I know how to put the
variants.
games in, but I didn't do it. How do I put the names in? There's already names in, but how do I change them? I've done it a million times, but I forgot. It's got to be here. Or it's not there. I think when I get an analysis board, then I can do it. I think I can do it anyway. No, this isn't right. No, that's not the way I
can't
do
remember. Somebody yell at Danny.
it. I've done this a million times, but I haven't done it in like a year.
A new variant. I don't care. about all
4,000
this.
people watching. Nobody tells me how to put the names in. Ugh, you're all banned. Changing the names is easy. I just don't know how to do it. I used to know how to do it.
All right, let me look then.
Yeah, I've done it like a million times. I know. This is the greatest moment of your life. Man, you better get some different kind of life.
Yeah, I don't know.
I figured you'd remember. That is true. All right, well, Farty Party's black. That's for sure. Yeah, there's a way to like change stuff. White equals name? Terrible. Wait, you're the guy who just got on internet. What? All right, well, I don't really care that much. I barely care. Care a little. All right, so why can't I? Stop being a stupid computer. What do I do to go to the bottom? Oh, I'm at the bottom. Okay, so Farty Party says, not Farty Party. I've already lost everything. All right, and black won. Next. Fen Beingold says he's black. It's 1-0. Only Fen Beingold would analyze his 1 minute games and pay $100 to do so. Time Scrabble, both 2,300 plus. I won't say a word, I'll just listen. No, I'm almost willing to bet you $100 that won't happen. All right. Big money, no Amy, stop. 215. Getting his mom's credit card.
Yay.
You know, it's funny. I always say get your mom's credit card, but I'm actually paraphrasing. The actual line is, do you know where your mommy's checkbook is? Get your mommy's checkbook. Yeah. All right. So black is Fen Beingold. It's a 1 minute game. And so forth. Bishop d3 is an unusual move. I like e5 in response. Not a rocket scientist. Normally you don't want to put your bishop here because it's like shallow and pedantic. Usually these squares make more sense. That way if knight here, your knight, and then the bishop here is more. So knight c3 is the most common move. Bishop d3 I've actually played myself. Some people play f3 too. Boo. But knight c3 is the most common move. Okay. So e5 I like. I don't like d5. d5 is okay. I just don't like bishop d3 and d5. It's the blocking it up. Too many pawn moves. The knight's not here. You're not gaining a tempo. See if we can get. I mean, grandmasters want to have white here, but I'm not a fan. Now c5, he's just kidding. c5 is not a good move, but it gets the kind of position that he likes. Normally, black is going to try to play for f5, and white's going to try to push on the queen side. One way to play for f5 is knight e8 and f5, or you could play knight e8, g6, knight g7, f5. Also, you could put a knight on c5, right? So c5 means I can't put a knight on c5. Okay, now we're transposing into the Ben Feingold variations. This is a 1-minute game, so, you know. All right, never play f3. Knight b6, not a move I would have considered. So if I show this to Magnus Carlsen, he's like, I don't want to look at this because black's not playing well. It's a 1-minute game, so he doesn't care. He's just getting the kind of position that he likes, which is really bad. But he figures eventually when things happen, he'll be more ready for them. White has to play very patiently here. White has a big space advantage. Black can't do anything. But it's a 1-minute game. If it was a slow game, then Feingold would be banned. Very poor position for black. I know I have these positions. See, knight a8. So the reason he played here, normally when they want to play b5 and get a knight on c7, they play knight e8 to c7. But he did it the other way around. Here, here, here. g4 is not my cup of tea. There's no reason to weaken your king side. So I don't like this move. This gives black some chances. Knight c7, obviously. Yeah, I don't like this. The engine says white's better because white's obviously better. I don't think this is the way to go forward. Knight e8 I like. Yeah, because black isn't really, white isn't attacking anything here. These pawns are still here. So black wants to do that. Black's going to play bishop d7 and do that. And white's going to take a million years doing this. And white's pieces aren't ready for that attack. I don't like h5. Now here, black could have nipped it in the bud, which he should have done. He should have played h6. It's a 1-minute game. So that way he gets the dark squares. Bishop here, and it's all blocked up. He shouldn't let white continue. He should play h6 and stop that. Okay, bishop d7. He wants to play b5. Queen d2. Whoa, I did it again. Oops, I did it again.
What are you clicking with? Oh,
this.
oh, I
It's
see
right
it.
next to it.
Oh, yeah, that's no good.
Okay, so he played b5, finally. A-B, knight g3, takes, rook b3. That's called faux activity. He's pretending to be active, but it's only 1 minute active. In real chess, this is nothing there. His pieces are here. Okay, so white's doing well. King f2, h6 finally, king g2. Yeah, he's letting black get this in instead of, he should have played more forcefully. So I'm assuming if white had played the engine recommended g5, now remember I said I'm assuming he was going to rip that off because always sack the exchange. And now he's going to have a trouble not saying anything. He's definitely going to say, like, I was going to do that. He can't stop himself. There's no way he can stop himself.
Yay, thank you, Lawful Waffle.
So you see how the queen is defending this? It's overworked. He's going to sack the exchange and take that. Good exchange sack. The engine likes white, but practically in a 1 minute game, probably good for black. So he played king f2, and then, yeah, now black's fine. Yeah, now white's never going to mate black. This is weak, this is weak, this is weak. We can attack them. And if you play knight f5, I'll just chop it off. Rook fb8 just in time. Chop that off. Yep. You have to take with the e pawn because you want to have e4, and also you don't want to hang that. If you play this, this is hanging. Now black is fine. Now he wants to get his knight to b4. Good. And he did. And this is a blunder. So you see how the bishop is attacked? Every stream I say the same thing. When your pieces are attacked, move them away. And you guys bend over backwards not to do that. You're like, I don't want to move it away. Wah. Moving it here or here, the engine says equal. After here, the engine says white's lost. Play king f8, but now he could play rook here check, which is annoying. Could also take it. This is funny. Knight takes, pawn takes, check, and the knight's pinned. So if you take it, then I got g4. Then my knight has a really nice square. And I have a passed pawn, and this pawn's ridiculous. That's weak. So it's really good for black. Okay, he played king f8, king d2. Still he could play knight takes d3. Now it's equal. Still equal, still equal. This is the faux activity I was talking about. That's a 1 minute move. It attacks the rook. But the knight can't, that's terrible, because the rook has a2 now. When the knight was here, it didn't. So he forced the rook to a better square. He put his knight where it wasn't defending e4 anymore. That's a real 1 minute move. Like, attack the rook, yay. Then the rook moved to a better square, undefended e4, terrible. Now if I move this knight anywhere, I said if, the rook can't go to b7 because he blocked his own rook. I've never been so mad. e4, good. Knight c3 is forced. Low-rated players, like your opponent, whenever there's a legal capture, they play it, especially in 1 minute. But knight c3 is the clear move here. Attacks the rook, attacks this pawn, gets out of the way of the rook, and then it's equal. This move is just terrible. Yeah, now black's winning. Now black's pieces are all over. Remember 20 moves ago when all black's pieces couldn't move? Now black's pieces are great. Boo! That's just a blunder that loses immediately. That's just a tactical blunder. Black just wins material now with a check. He didn't see it because 1 minute. Check. One legal move.
King f1. Yeah.
Then there. Papa John's. In fact, the engine doesn't want to take the rook. It wants to go here. God damn. That is good. Yeah, this is mate. For example, let's go here, like just to get mated. Okay? Check. Mate. If you don't like that mate, black has two mates here. The shallow and pedantic one, and then the pretty one. Okay, so instead of that, because he was in time trouble, he played rook c2. King f1, walking into this. Jesus Christ. Mate. They're both like 2,300, but when it's 1 minute at the end of the game, you don't play as well. That was a fun game for black. Very passive and solid, couldn't do anything, and every 5 moves or so, a little bit better. And white's play was shallow and pedantic. Once he had a big advantage, he didn't know what to do.
Papa Karen's. Hey, so listen, I'm going to duck out just because I'm not feeling my greatest all of a sudden.
But then they might not donate. No.
No, I need to go up and take some more Sudafed.
Suda.
And talk to my children for a moment. Chug some cold. Now, I've been feeling great. I went to the gym today, but all of a sudden I have this sinus pressure right here.
Whatever they say, do the opposite. Yeah.
So, I won't say I'm sick, but I'm not my best. So, are you going to keep streaming for a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll try to
See,
watch.
you're leaving, so they won't donate.
No, well, they'll donate.
No, we don't make meth upstairs because that would smell. We have a storage room over here. By the way, there's an episode you have to see, Karen.
Yeah.
It's when Family Guy, they make meth. That's a great episode.
Oh, really?
I mean, that's just amazing. Yeah. You guys remember the family episode where they move out of Quahog and they start making meth? That's great.
I'm going to take this back out.
Yeah. I am 1250. Should I quit my job to pursue chess? You should quit your job. Probably not to pursue chess, but you should quit your job. Yeah.
Okay. Bye, everybody. See you. I'll see you in a little bit.
Bye. Go, Karen, but don't go. You hate Family Guy. You're banned. Puzzle Rush has nothing to do with your strength because a lot of people, thanks Thorntro, who are lower rated, do the same puzzles 5,000 times. So they're just repeating the answers they've already seen. Most of the people who have the top scores in Puzzle Rush they're just repeating the same puzzles every time. So if like Magnus did Puzzle Rush for the first time, and at 2200 did Puzzle Rush for the 10,000th time, I'd bet on the lower rated player. Not really, but close. Yeah. I mean, Magnus would win, but it would be closer than if it was a 2200 player first doing them. If Magnus, he'd win by like 20. But if it's a guy who just does them all day and he's seen every puzzle, then, et cetera. I'm the oldest. I was born in 69. 69! I will do one more game and so forth. Yeah, my game. Asking to have your game looked at is a very good way of me not looking at your game. That's excellent. Donating a lot of money, that's an excellent way for me to look at your game. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, just excellent. It's not any amount per game. Just, it's, the more you donate, the more likely it is. Okay. This game looks dumb. Let's see. Okay, Bozorg. He gave some money. Let's look at his game. Okay. Are you Borzorg the Clown? Man, you're playing Matt Damon? Okay, in the chat, who's a worse person? Ready? We should have a poll. Who's a worse person? Matt Damon or Eric Clapton? Discuss. Big money, big money. $3. Yeah, Magnus pretty good. Eric Clapton. They're the same person. Damn. Clapton is worse. Clapton's winning as the worst person. Why Matt? Haven't you seen his commercial for, crypto? Already makes him a worse person. But obviously it's Eric Clapton. Yeah. No, I mean, it's obviously Eric Clapton. It's not even close. Matt Damon has to do like 2 more stupid things to be like in the running. Mm-hmm. Don't you guys watch the news? I guess you don't. Go to the internet and type in what did Clapton do, then you'll know. That is true. Yeah. That's also true. That's also true. Man, you guys are killing Eric Clapton here. God damn. Where's the Perrier? Well, I got this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And then after this case and the next 2 cases, there's only 1 case left. Yeah. Get some more Perrier. Let's see what's happening in this poll. Eric Clapton's crushing Matt Damon. I didn't really hate Matt Damon until the crypto commercial. But I mean, after that, it's hard not to hate him. Yeah, he should apologize or something. Doesn't Matt Damon have enough money? Really? Does Matt Damon need some more money? I mean, come on. Yeah, I want to see Matt Damon's net worth. Also, who's worth more, Matt Damon or Eric Clapton? That's a good question. Big money, no whammy, stop. $5, thank you. I want Matt Damon net worth, not Matt. I don't even know who's worth more. Probably my fault. Matt Damon, 170 million is the estimate. That makes me even madder that he does that crypto commercial. He's worth 170 million, does a crypto commercial. Christ. Eric Clapton, 450 million. How can you do a commercial for crypto and you're worth 170 million? What's wrong with him? Hope he's ashamed. Yeah, God, Eric Clapton, 450 million. God damn. Your FIDE rating isn't related to the accuracy. Yeah. Now, who's a better actor? Serious question. Matt Damon or Meth Damon? Meth Damon's not his name, but the guy from Breaking Bad who looks like Matt Damon. You guys know who Meth Damon is, right? Yeah, Jesse Lemons, yeah. Man, Makoviev, I forgot about him. No, not Aaron Paul. He was only like in the last season. Maybe he was in the previous one too. Yeah, Jesse. Yeah. You know, the guy who looks like Matt Damon, but he's younger and scarier. All right, last game. Go Bozorg. Queen's Gambit. Knight f6, already a mistake. After CD, white has a nice advantage. You should take or play e6 or c6 to keep your center going. Okay, also a mistake. After CD, white's better because black's position is pretty seedy. White grabs the center. All right, now we're back into Catalan mode. Knight c6 isn't considered best. It's okay. But generally, you want to either play e5 or c5 in the next 10 moves instead of having this bad bishop and no center play. So you're not going to play e5 because you can't. c5 you can, so you don't want to do that. Then you can't play c5. So probably taking this would be good, then playing c5. Also, your knight could go to d7, so you can play c5 easier. Then you equalize when you trade everything. Now white is better again. White should take on d5, so black doesn't take this and try to hold his pawn. And then black should take this now and try to hold on to his pawn. It's good being a pawn up. This probably transposes into a theoretical variation too. Okay, CD, ED, knight e5 is good. Bishop e6 is okay. Okay, e4 doesn't make a lot of sense because white has more space with his knight on e5. This knight doesn't want to go here because you get messed up pawns. We haven't developed our pieces yet. So you could play f4 and try to attack. Keep your, f4, f5 or g4, g5 or just defend your knight. Or b3 so the knight can't go here. This move just gives white an isolated pawn and black is equalized. Yeah, you want to take that so this pawn is isolated. c6 is okay. Your knight's a little funny. a3 just is terrible. Yeah, a3 actually loses because once you take this, you're weakening b3. I assume he played a3 to play b4. When you move a pawn, you're weakening squares, Atari. So now takes is great because you're all set. No, boo. Now you're lost because your knight's defending c6, and when he attacks your knight with b4, and your knight moves, you lose everything. So b5 is the losing move. You got to take this and open up your bishop, and then your knight can go to b3. God damn. You can also take with the knight. Yeah, the engine said black is close to winning by just taking this and getting his knight in here with the forks and the weak pawn. b5 weakens your c6 square. It's almost impossible with the bishop here and the pawn on e4 that you want to play b5 because you're weakening this and you're opening up this diagonal. Now, you played b5 because you thought he was going to go here and you were going to go here. You wanted to defend your knight, but you forgot this was also attacked because it's not attacked now. But if you take this, you open up your bishop and your knight is very safe. When your knight goes to the side, that's risky, but you got to risk it to get the biscuit. b4, obviously. Yeah, now you're just completely losing. And that's what's bad about chess. if this happens to you, you play okay, engine says you're okay, then you make a move and it's over. And in other sports, that's not the case, which I've talked about many times. If you play golf and you're 10 strokes ahead and you hit it in the water, you should still win. If you're playing basketball and you turn the ball over to the opponent and they shoot a 3 and make it, if you're up by 20, it doesn't matter. And so forth. In tennis, if you're up 6-0, 5-0, and you hit 4 serves into the net and it's 5-1, doesn't matter. Unless you're Novotny. Thanks, Robert E630. In chess, you could play better than Leela and Magnus Carlsen and Karpov combined, and then you're winning, then you make one move and you're losing. So when you make pawn moves, you have to be absolutely sure because you can't go back. This pawn is attacked by the knight. It's defended by this. So that really weakens this pawn. If Farnsley 69 were here, he would say that's a backward pawn. So you were thinking about this, but there's other things to think about like that. And that's what happened. And now, if like any grandmaster was playing Magnus Carlsen and they were white, they would win because black's position collapsed. But Magnus wouldn't play b5. But you get the idea. And so forth. Yeah, knight takes d5 seems incorrect. Bishop g5 is good, adding the pressure. E takes d5 is what I would play, and e5 is good. Yeah, this doesn't make a lot of sense. Bishop g5 makes sense. God damn. Pressure everywhere. Jesus. I like bishop g5. This isn't developed. It pins the knight. It threatens e5. Puts pressure here. Yeah, I like that move. That's my kind of move. Okay, still winning for white, but not as winning, because now, now you can play. Put it in h. That move loses material because d6 threatens your queen and the rook, so you should just move your rook. h6 is a good move if you're not losing material, because, you want to avoid that, but... Okay, he didn't play d6, so it worked out. No, you gotta, you see this? No, you gotta stop that. d6 is coming. Okay, rook c8. Actually, if d6, you can take with the knight now. So that actually saves you. Okay, knight e4. Unfortunately, he can pin your knight, and then you're gonna lose. So hopefully he didn't do that. Okay, good. Yeah, when you put your knights up at his grill, you gotta make sure they're protected. It's already attacked. Rook e1, then you're in trouble. Your knight's hanging. If you play f5, he could play f3, never play f3, or even d6. Whoa, I did it again. I did it every game. That was good. Okay. So you played knight d6. Oh, wait. Rook a2. Okay, now, when he played rook a2, you should have been thinking Arby's. I mean, you should have been thinking like rook here, rook here. Your queen and knight are lined up on this file. So any rook move here is going to kill you. Happens a lot in the opening when a rook is on e1 and it kills the king that hasn't castled. And you played a6. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Yeah, a6, terrible. Rook e1, winning. Bishop f4, excellent move. Man, he's all over you. 2 bishops, what else? Yeah, you don't want to put your knight in front of your queen when it can get pinned. And now you're down a piece. All we are saying is you're down a piece. Okay, rook c8. And then he blundered horribly. So his back rank is weak, and this is your only threat, and he didn't stop it. So like any move wins that stops that. Any move. And there's a lot of moves that stop it by accident. And he just didn't see this, even though you just played here. Yeah, whenever your back rank is open, you got to think about that. So your opponent blundered, now you're winning again. Hooray, now you're up the exchange. Okay, good. King G2. Takes, good. Yeah, now you're completely winning. There's no way you won't win. I can see the result of the game, so, So queen takes, king G1. So now you have an immediate win, although you might have played it, with queen C4. And he can't protect his bishop. So the game is over. You played rook A1. See, your rook was attacked, so you moved your rook. But you want to put pressure here. Play queen here, then he can take your rook. But queen here does everything. It defends your rook, so he can't take it. It attacks his bishop, and he can't defend his bishop. So queen C4, the engine says plus 20. Now, he can defend his bishop, but the only way to defend it is to play queen G2, and then this pawn's queening. A3, A2, A1. So, A3 is plus 40, it says. Okay, so rook A1, you're still winning. Queen A2 is, legal. Yeah, I don't like this move the engine suggests here and here. It's winning, but I like your move better. D5, queen B1, good, you're winning. Good. No, you don't care about this pawn. Okay, this is the best thing that's ever happened in human history. Okay, don't move those. That's great. And you might have been afraid of bishop check winning your queen, but it's illegal. So you shouldn't be afraid of it. Now, if you push this pawn, god damn, that's what you should be doing, is pushing that pawn. Now, if you want to make everything safe, if you do, then you queen would check, so you win. But you have to calculate that. If white queen, then you wouldn't win. Now you win. So queen takes wins immediately, A3 wins immediately. That pawn releases some of this. It doesn't queen the pawn. Still winning for you. Still winning. Okay, you still got to play A3. Yay, still winning. Never play F3. Still winning. Yay, you're the best. Okay, now, here's what you missed. You played here, okay, which is fine. And then you were like, I don't want a perpetual, I want to win. And you played the winning move. Well, you played king here. Okay, never mind. You can't play king G8 because you lose. Here's what you missed. You missed after G6. You thought this was winning, that your queen can go here. You had two queens, one for each of them. Then you win. Now, the thing is, when you're promoted to a queen, this is the only move that you're scared of, and you have to be ready for that. So, if you don't like that, you could play queen C2, or queen takes D6, but this is fine, because you're still winning here, but not after here. Now, bishop F7's double exclam. That's actually forced mate, what he did. Yeah. Now, if you played here, then mate. And then if you play king F8, there's several mates. Every move is mate. The thing is, the normal mate, like this doesn't work as a queen F6. So you could play this, and then this, and then it's mate. Or you could play back on this diagonal somewhere, but not on E6, because then after this is going to be mate. But if you play bishop E6, then after here, black's winning. Hooray! So king G8 was the losing move. You didn't want to draw. You probably didn't see after G6 here you could go here, so you blundered. And shockingly, this is shocking to me, your opponent didn't take with the queen, which looks more brutal. Taking with the queen doesn't win. Now it's actually a draw. He can perpetual check you, but he's not winning. But taking with the bishop does win. So that's shocking your opponent found that. So you were completely lost, then completely winning, and then you blundered and lost. That's chess. Very chessy. Yeah, there was a lot of mistakes that game. It was very exciting, though. But yeah, in the future, if you're worried about getting checkmated and you don't see a way to stop it, instead of going here, you could just stop it and then go here later. But yeah, you are stopping it because your queen is here. So this is a very nice defense. And then that's the end of his attack forever. He'll never attack you. Thanks, Bozorg. Yeah, that was a very interesting game. Yeah, chess is difficult because you can go from winning to losing in one move, which is very hard in other sports. When I say winning, like +5, +10, +20, +30, if you were +30 in a basketball or football game, you're going to win unless you're the Falcons or the Lions. But it's not like I'm up. If you remember Homer's dream, Homer dreams he's a quarterback, and he throws the football and gets a touchdown for Denver, and it's like New England wins 47-8, it's 7 instead of 0, which is funny. And in chess, you can be up 47-0 and you lose because one move can just hang mate or whatever. And here you're up a lot of material, but the goal of chess is to get checkmate. So a lot of times somebody's up a lot of material and loses because their opponent's trying to mate them and they sacrifice. Here, you just outplayed your opponent one material, but your king still wasn't safe enough. Now, one of the bad things about king g8, okay, and you played here. When you played here, you were like, damn, he's going to draw. I don't want to draw. This doesn't help. If you didn't see this, which is fine, then this still draws. This doesn't help. That just gives them extra options. This is the winning move. These moves can't win because your opponent's doing that. It turns out this move loses, but that's a different story. So you got to play this if you want to win, but you just put your queen on the board, so you forgot about it. It just happened. That queen's a good defender. It looks like it's for attacking. Yeah, San Francisco 56, Denver 7. Yeah. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll do this again some other time, maybe. And if I looked at your game, good for you. If I didn't, maybe next time. Probably not. Thanks for watching. We did a 2.5-hour stream. And I guess I'll raid the usual and so forth. Remember, the more you donate, the more I might look at your game. I doubt it. Let's see. Did I spell 15 right? Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.